Bring Black Tar up. Yeah.
All right, John, all you.
Yeah. Hello, Black Tar. So, what's going to be the sound argument for theism being true?
Prove to me that he isn't real.
That's going to be dodge number one. But which god specifically are you talking about?
God. Like,
Yeah, which god? It's like a plethora of different gods. We could be talking about like a deist god, a pantheist god, a pandeist god, a classical theism.
no,
So, which god
like
are we talking about?
like God, like the Christian God.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So we have the problem of evil, and we have hypotheses that better account for things like problem of evil and things like religious confusion. That would like follow like under these hypotheses, but don't follow under Christianity.
Could you repeat that?
Yeah. So we have better hypotheses of theism that account for religious confusion and problem of evil that wouldn't account under your hypotheses, this being the Christian God.
Could you tell me about them?
Yeah, we had like some sort of like aesthetic deism, or like God created the universe strictly for like aesthetic purposes because he wanted to look at something complex and pretty. This would account for everything that your God accounts for and more. I'm giving it more explanatory power, while having the same amount of like simplicity to it. So it's gonna be more parsimonious.
How does that prove that he's not real?
Yeah, it's just gonna be a probability claim, right? So your God probably doesn't exist because there's things more probable than your God, right? And also, your God entails a contradiction.
You're
This is
low-key
like being
confusing
all
me,
of it. Oh, which part confuses you?
You're telling me about a bunch of random stuff. I asked you how he's not real. You're like,
Yeah,
you're
yeah. So
like a
when I say God
politician.
probably doesn't exist, all I'm saying is there's better hypotheses that up the probability of like another thing existing rather than your God existing, right?
Yeah, but what are those probabilities?
The probabilities. Wait, are you talking about like how much like more probable it is? I have to do like the math on that. I'm not in the mood for that right now. But as long as something is more probable, then your like hypothesis probably isn't true.
I don't really have a hypothesis. I just have
The
faith.
hypothesis is the Christian
You have
God.
to
What do
say.
you mean? That's
just
what you're
wanna
supposed to
know.
defend.
I just want to know. Like, I want to know your defense first. Like, what proves that he's not real?
Oh, my defense for atheism? Yeah, atheism's gonna be more parsimonious to hold to.
Then my word is just as good as yours. Then, because we have no.
No. Definitely not.
What's your defense?
Yeah, so your worldview entails a contradiction, this being the problem of evil.
What?
Yes.
Could you simplify it, bro? Because I'm struggling.
Okay, yeah. So God is supposed to be all loving, but
Yes.
there's a proton to evils that make God not all loving. Because we could think of a better world in which these proton to evils don't exist.
So you're saying that God is like discriminatory towards evil?
No, God. I'm saying that God, if he is real, he's probably gonna be evil or like not care about us, rather than all good, which is what you're saying. Given that there are proton to evils.
Well, that's not what God is in the Bible. And I think just the assumption that he would be evil if he was real, like, holds no weight either. I think that just makes no sense.
What's the argument for that? Wait, what's the argument for that?
It
That
doesn't
how
prove
God
he's
being evil would
whether
hold
he's
more weight.
evil or good has no like weight. I want to know, is he real or not? Like,
Wait, hold it. Yeah,
I
and I'm
want to
saying that
know if he's up there. If he's up there, like, not his mood or anything. I don't want to know his who he is. I want to know whether he's there or not. And you say that God would be evil. It
no,
just doesn't
no, I'm saying that the reason why the Christian God isn't true is because the Christian God entails the contradiction. This being that the Christian God is supposed to be all good, but there's proton to evils that lead us to think that he isn't all good. That was the original claim made.
So there's claims made that he isn't all good.
Oh my God.
Okay, can you repeat what I just said?
I can't. I don't understand what you're saying. No.
Okay, the Christian worldview entails a contradiction.
Entails a contradiction. What's that contradiction?
Yes, the P is God is all good. The not P is that God can't be all good because of the proton to evils in the world.
What's the proton to evils in the world?
Yeah, so we can think of like a tree falling on a deer and that deer starving to death, or like a baby wandering into the woods and the baby getting like fucking demolished by a tree, right? Or like getting like jumped on by like a hound, like a pack of wolves that eat the baby. These would be examples of pro tanto evils that didn't have to exist. But God, if God is real, He would have created the world
Evil
in such a way where
exists
these things
for
did exist.
like one reason. Evil exists to give us a choice. Like when Eve in the Garden of Paradise, she was met with the choice of eating that apple, or not listening to God. And a lot
Wait,
of evil is a choice. And
wait,
there's many.
just to be like super clear, right? So when the tree falls on the baby and the baby dies like immediately, or like when the tree falls on the
Well,
deer and that deer starves with like horrific and painful death, did they choose? Did they choose? Did they choose that? Did they choose that evil to happen to them, or did the tree
no.
choose to
Shit
follow
happens.
them?
If life was perfect, there would be no development in life. Shit happens all the time. You think God wanted 9/11 to happen? You think
Yeah,
God? You think if I were to stand out in the middle of a field and got struck by lightning because like I was standing out in the middle of a field, you think God would want that to happen? It
yeah.
makes no sense.
I think He would have created the universe in such a way where that did indeed happen because He has the knowledge for it. It's like if I created a book, if I wrote a book, and the character got tortured to death, I would and I published it. I would want that character to be tortured to death in the book. Yes.
So events like starvation and trees falling on people, that's not necessarily an act of evil. It's simple accidents that
Well,
happen.
accidents, yeah, accidents that didn't have to exist. Like if God really did create the world, because He loved us, right? Because God created the universe because He loved us, right? But then these things that happen make it seem to be the case that God doesn't like love us because of these things that I want to kill us and want to cause gratuitous amounts of suffering.
So if I die, does that mean God is evil?
If He died a slow, horrific, painful death, then yes, and this happens all the time.
Yeah, it's like it's a natural cause, bro. It's like that's not something God contradicts.
Wait, hold it. Wait, just to be clear, do you think that just because something's natural, it's morally permissible or morally good?
It's not morally permissible, but like God.
Okay, perfect then.
Actually, hold on. My brother's way more educated in this. Gabriel, tell him.
So what's the topic about?
He thinks that since bad shit happens in the world, God isn't real.
That is what happens. Every single thing when it comes to rape, murder, starvation, the poor, it's all by our own doing. We have the choice to do what is good.
Wait,
and what
yeah.
is
Perfect,
we have
yeah.
people, we have the government. We have many people who have so much money that can provide in need, and yet they don't do it. And when it comes to people, like for instance, what you just said before, like a person, like a tree falling on a person, that is natural disasters. That's things that just happen. And with that is that the source of natural disasters, what it comes from sin. And since we let sin enter the world, all these things happen. It's not by just God alone. God is like the source of all that is good. Just because something happens is not by God. It is by us who let sin enter the world and let death trample on all of us. So it's not by God, it's by our own reckless actions that made the consequences.
Yeah,
And like
perfect.
starvation, for example. Have you
No, yeah, I
seen
get it.
like
I
you're
get it,
talking about like
perfect.
in Africa, right?
So,
Have you
so
seen
when it comes to
corruption in Africa? That's just the
um,
niggas. That's the niggas running Africa's fault, bro. Like,
let me respond to your brother real quick.
go ahead.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So I want to ask like a few clarifying questions. Do you believe that sin entered the world after we consumed the fruit of knowledge?
What do you mean by that?
I mean the forbidden fruit, the fruit of knowledge in which Eve ate, that like had God kick them out of the Garden of Eden and like introduce sin into the world as said in the Bible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Wait,
So
no. Okay, my second clarifying question is do you believe Adam and Eve to be humans?
But yeah, obviously.
Yeah, perfect. How do you account for animals like dinosaurs getting cancer, which predated humans?
Dinosaurs.
How do you account for that? Yes, dinosaurs predated
Wait,
humans.
wait,
And
What do dinosaurs have to do with this?
Oh wait, just to be super clear, right? Dinosaurs had to experience cancer, which is a proton to evil, right? They need something that causes gratuitous suffering with no benefit, right? And these
Ailment
dinosaurs
is a
had to get cancer, and it wouldn't account under the worldview that sin was caused, that like natural disasters and natural bad things happening come from sin because dinosaurs predate sin, but they still had to experience the proton to evils. That's why the dinosaurs are important to the conversation.
Wait, hold on. Predate sin.
Yes,
What is predating?
He means
predating come before.
It didn't even come.
Dinosaurs came before humans. Therefore, dinosaurs came before sin.
No. First of all, what I'm trying to say, that Adam and Eve, they're on Earth, right?
Yeah.
Before Adam and Eve were there was still sin. Since, okay, the kingdom of heaven. Okay, this is like way back. Right? I'm gonna yap a bit, right? So, in simple terms, God made angels in his kingdom. One was like, nah, I want to be better than him. Had pride in his heart, which is sin, you know. And then God was like, nah, B, kicked him off, right? And then later on, you know, the sin is still there, but at the same time, it wasn't on earth. And over time, God created the heavens, obviously, and the earth. And then over time, he made Adam and Eve. And this is literally the choice, which let either sin enter or not enter the world, by the tree of knowledge of good and evil, as I explained before.
Yeah, so like, as you hear from my brother, sin has existed for like billions of years, probably before the dinosaurs.
Wait, what? Do you think humans existed for billions of years?
Oh no, because Lucifer was banished down to Earth and sort of brought sin down there, or there was sin. but
Oh,
he just-
perfect.
So sin has been around for quite some time.
And
Yeah,
also-
so perfect. So just to be clear, sin didn't originate with humans then.
It sort of did, and it didn't.
it didn't. We
Okay, it did it. So it
We-
started
we
with like
caused-
Lucifer.
Right.
Just to be
But
crystal
yeah.
clear. Okay,
Yeah.
wait. So then why are animals
no,
like
even-
dinosaurs
even
being
before
punished
that.
for what like the angels did? Why like
No,
are
listen.
babies being punished for what the original humans did?
because we still bring it out to this day. And also, how do you none of us truly know how long sin is everlasted. Only God knows. And how you know such claims.
Well, yeah, so most people when they read the Bible and they see like the Garden of Eden, like I think it pretty like crystal clear tells us that sin started at like when Adam and Eve ate the apple. That's when sin was introduced into the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so that's why I said
Sin
that sin
wasn't-
started with humans.
No, it didn't.
No,
I just explained.
yeah,
to
no,
you.
I get that, but that's why I said it, right? But why are like animals being punished for like random things? Why are animals being punished even though they never committed sin?
But here's the thing, like in Genesis explains that man should be should be dominant over the lands. So it's not inherently bad for a person to kill animal for like survival.
I'm not
But-
talking about killing animals.
But when it comes to that, what are you trying to talk about? Like a person
Yeah.
randomly killing a puppy,
So-
like
So
Snapping them,
let's
like-
take no. Let's take like a tree falling on a deer and that deer starving to death, or let's take a lion putting like its claws and clenching its teeth into like a gazelle because it has to eat, and the gazelle dies a horrific, painful death. That's what I'm talking about.
That's like the natural, like that's a cycle of life, honestly. Like
Yeah, and it's a
Survive.
proton to evil. Yeah, I agree that it's natural. Sure, it's not good
Okay.
though. It's definitely not good.
animals are completely exempt from what the Bible tells the children of God to do. And
I'm
a
not-
zebra or gazelle being attacked by a lion, that's just like,
Do they experience pain?
yeah, of course they experience
Okay,
pain. but
so
that's like-
so it's unnecessary suffering.
yeah, but it's been done for thousands of years.
Yeah, but does that
It
make it
doesn't-
justified? What?
Yeah, that doesn't make it good. Like we could be sacrificing people for thousands of years. That wouldn't make it good.
Okay, there's two animals. There's a prey and there's the one that's hungry. And the one that is hungry needs to do that.
That's not
And
what we're
also
talking
allow
about,
them to
though.
feed their kids.
No,
How
no.
else? No. How else is the lion supposed to feed itself?
We're not talking about that.
No, but
It's
that's
survival,
but
basically.
that's the whole point of it. It's
God,
not to be.
God could have created the world in such a way where every single animal was like a vegetarian, and God could have created the world in such a way where a lot more plants grew, so every animal could just be an herbivore. And then, bam, we wouldn't have like the lion torturing the gazelle for food. Like, obviously, we wouldn't have that.
That's generally stupid.
Or
It's
he could.
overall just survivability.
What would do you? What
It's
could?
not-
Is there a way that God could have made animals where they wouldn't experience pain? Is that possible?
Well, yeah, but who are you to judge? You're
Well-
a sinner. We're all sinners.
Yeah, we're the judge.
Who are you to
um,
claim such things?
Yeah, we
let's-
can claim what
Who are you to
we can
like
claim.
call to like judge and create? You're not the creator. You're the mere creation.
Yeah, wait, this is already presupposing the creator to exist, and this would entail a contradiction within your worldview. Because if God created the world, for like, because He loved us so much, and because He loved like creation so much, then He should have created like a good life for the creation, right? Like the animals shouldn't be like having to like starve. The animals shouldn't have to be fighting. And these like predator animals, they don't only go after like prey animals, they go after us too. Like, don't use like a lion would definitely eat a human if it were hungry enough. So this would also
Yeah.
cause like suffering to us as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, he created a world without death and suffering, but here we are. We caused the death and suffering. We caused.
Oh, you
the
wait,
sin.
wait. So you
the
already
world.
showed that we
We
didn't,
caused
right?
it.
Because you already said that sin didn't originate with us. So it's not
We-
something that we caused.
But we still caused it. You know the serpent. Have you heard about the serpent?
Yes,
Oh,
and
wait.
exactly. That's my point. Is
Yeah,
that
that's-
it did not originate with us.
But
Yeah, we're not the
we
cause
let
of it.
enter the world by choice.
Does that make it okay?
And with that,
Actually, I have an intervention.
Wait, so were you saying that the earth was perfect before the serpent was introduced? Are you saying that the earth was perfect before the serpent was introduced?
We have a pause. Adam and Eve didn't bring sin to the world. They were sent down to earth.
no,
Right.
they were made.
Oh, they were made.
God made them.
Don't even
What?
understand your own lore. What?
They weren't sent down.
What's
to
going
earth.
on here?
Here's the thing.
Don't worry about me.
Matthew, my brother's, he doesn't study. I study. So basically, Adam and Eve were created, right?
Yeah.
As I explained before, the serpent. Here's what I'm trying to say. The serpent deceived Eve by thinking that she would get knowledge of good and evil, which is sin, right? And by that, by her,
Wait,
by
I
her
have a
disobedience-
clarifying question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
When Adam and Eve ate from the tree, was it them eating what caused them to inherit sin?
No, it's by their disobedience.
Okay, so them eating the fruit was not what caused them to sin.
It's honestly
That's
both.
so. How did they get the sin nature if it wasn't from the fruit?
By disobedience of God.
Yeah, wait, who gave them the sin nature? Was it the fruit or was it something else?
It's by disobedience.
Yeah, and so they disobeyed. They ate the fruit. So if the fruit, did they get the punishment right away when they ate the fruit? Like, did the fruit give them the sin nature, or what gave them the sin nature?
Oh, okay. It's the fruit.
The fruit gave it to the sin. The fruit gave them the sin nature.
Yeah, the fruit of knowledge and evil. right?
So
The knowledge-
are you denying what Genesis 3:14 to 20 says?
the knowledge of
Where
good and
where
evil.
God gives these curses and gives them the sin nature after they ate the fruit?
What are you trying to say? Wait,
I'm
can
saying
you say
that it wasn't the fruit that gave them the sin nature. It was the curses that God put on them after they ate the fruit.
Yeah, because they disobeyed.
Yeah, so God gave them the sin nature.
You're confusing me with this question. But as I said before,
And this would also mean that sin would be introduced after they ate the fruit, meaning that the dinosaur example would still hold up, because
Why do you-
dinosaurs
why do you
came
keep
before
on-
humans, and that's what they experience, like protonto evils.
First, sin has always existed, which is why he like gave them a choice. They chose sin, although God technically did. They chose a life of sin right after. Like,
So when God, what did God say to them before they ate the fruit? Like what was the warning that God gave? Did God say, if you eat this, your entire lineage will be cursed and you will all have the sin nature? Or did he just say that if you ate from this, you'll die?
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah, so how could they have possibly known that they would have ruined humanity by eating from it if they didn't actually know everything that was going to happen when they ate from it?
But God specifically told them straightforward.
Well, no, because God just said that they were going to die. He never said that he's going to curse mankind. He said that they will die, not that humanity is going to die or that
Specifically,
mankind is
Adam
going to be
and Eve
cursed.
So they had really long like lifespans, right?
Yeah,
What he did after they ate that fruit,
it's inwardly.
Hmm?
It's inwardly.
yeah, they had really long lifespans, and what he did, he meant that literally, pretty much. What he did is he chopped that lifespan down to 70 to 80 years.
That's not
Which-
true. In the Bible, Adam and Eve lived to like 1,000.
Yeah, but
So
Over
what?
time, but over time,
And God later on in Genesis sets the age limit to 120, not 70.
yeah, because over time they were like decreasing, like their lifespan was decreasing because of sin.
That's not what the Bible says. The Bible says that God set the age limit to 120. It's not saying that it's because of
Yeah, but
sin.
do
It's
you know-
because God
do
set
you
that
know-
to the age limit.
Do you know the cause of it though?
Yeah, it's the sin, the sin nature that God gave to Adam and Eve.
The person is born to the world, they inherit a sinful nature within them.
Yeah, and where does that sinful
Over
nature come from?
time- Over time, huh?
I said, where does that sinful nature originate?
In round Psalms, it explains that no one is righteous, no one is good.
That's
All
not
of us.
that didn't answer the question though, right? I'm asking where the sin nature originated.
I just told you before, Adam and Eve.
Okay, so sin came into the world with Adam and Eve. Sin did not exist before.
Adam and Eve brought sin into the world.
Okay, so
Yes.
sin did not exist before Adam and Eve.
I didn't say that.
You just said sin was brought
Okay.
into the world by Adam and Eve.
Let's be crystal clear. Did sin come into did
When a
sin
person-
exist in the
okay,
world
bro.
before Adam and Eve? Yes or no?
brought sin into the world. That doesn't mean it originated by.
Wait,
Adam.
hold it. Did Adam and Eve was there sin on the world, like on Earth? Was there sin on the Earth before Adam and Eve ate the apple? Yes or no?
Pardon?
Did was there sin on Earth before Adam and Eve ate the apple? Ate the fruit? Yes or no?
No, it was from the very beginning, beyond the very beginning.
it was brought to Earth by Adam and Eve, but it's always existed.
Okay, so it didn't originate with Adam and Eve. That's what I'm asking. Sin did not
No.
originate with Adam and Eve.
Then they
Adam
didn't
and
bring it into the world. What?
Yeah, then they didn't bring it into the world.
Well, Adam and Eve.
God, bro.
But Adam and Eve
Okay,
brought it
let me
out.
simplify it. Sin has existed forever, okay? But Adam and Eve made a choice to bring it in by disobeying God. That's a simple.
What do you mean? What do you mean when you say bring it in?
We had a choice to not eat the apple in the middle.
I know what it entails. I'm asking what the statement means itself when they brought it in. Because when you bring something in, you bring it into existence.
No.
No.
They just like.
I'm trying to explain that sin existed before Adam and Eve. Since
Yeah, I get that. But
Right.
was it on Earth before Adam? Was it on Earth before Adam and Eve ate the fruit?
no.
Then they didn't bring it in.
Listen. Earth.
Oh, wait.
Okay, so
Wait.
Earth at first was just this perfect paradise, but they had a choice to either obey God or not, and they disobeyed, and God didn't force them to. The whole reason why sin exists is
perfect.
free will, and what Adam and Eve did is that they basically started on this cycle of sin by choosing that. They didn't know that, but that's what they basically started.
Perfect. Yeah. So then the dinosaur example still stands. Then we have animals before humans. Well, the Earth would have been perfect that to experience pro-tonto evils.
He says that animals that existed before, sins don't really apply to animals.
Okay,
It does
so then
not.
why
Wait.
do they suffer? Wait, what?
Yeah. Why do they suffer then? Why do they experience the suffering?
No, it's just by survivability.
It's like
Each animal has to survive, and it's
I want to say something. It was God who was made in man's image. I mean, it's horrible. It's a horrible thing, but animals live a 100% different life that humans live.
Does that mean it's good?
Okay,
Is
wait,
that-
wait, wait, wait.
Make it good.
So I want to. Okay, so let's say that I start a farm, and in this farm I have a serum. The serum makes any creature that I give it will live an X amount of time. It will extend their lifespan to basically immortality, and I can choose who I give this to. If they have this, they do not experience suffering. They will not experience pain, and they will not experience death. And I can choose who to give it to. Am I a good person if I give it to one animal? Let's say I only give it to cows, but my pigs, my sheep, and my horses and my donkeys don't get it, and they slowly die or they get injured and whatnot, and they have to suffer. Am I a good person for only selecting the cows?
I think maybe, yeah, because harming animals.
What?
Harming, you're a human. You're involved. It'll be on you, not the animals. If animals kill one
Wait,
another,
so I'm a good person for only choosing the
I'm
cows.
not saying you're a good person. I'm saying that you're sinning. That is a
Well,
sin.
what I'm asking, is
Animals
it good?
suffer.
Is it good of me to do that?
No, it's not good for you
Yeah,
to do
okay,
that.
wait, so exactly. So now it gets even worse because God isn't a sinner and he has that magic serum that he could give to any creature he wants. And he chose to give it to the humans. And now that the humans
think
have
would be
that
good
and the
without
humans get
humans
eternal
already?
life after death, these animals do not get that. They die and they live miserable lives, and a lot of them suffer, and a lot of them we don't even know actually suffer. So what I'm asking for is, how can an all-good God be justified in causing all of this unnecessary suffering?
First of all, what's the point for us to not struggle? What's the point of us having no suffering at
We're
all?
not talking about us. We're talking about animals right now.
Why we keep on talking about animals?
Because that's unnecessary
Because-
suffering. Are you bad at tracking? Do you not understand the
Animals-
problem of evil?
No, because
Animals also have moral
concept, this
significance.
argument is foolish. Why do you keep on talking about animals when it's super crucial to speak about us?
I think
the
it's-
animals.
I think it's
The
pretty
reason why
crucial
the
when
suffering-
sentient beings are being
vegan?
tortured and experiencing unnecessary
That's why.
suffering for no
You're-
apparent
you're-
reason.
You're coming in with bias.
What's the bias?
Are you vegan?
No, I'm not vegan.
You sure?
Yep, I'm sure. If John, if you want to do the vegan argument, you're gonna have to talk to John. But
Oh, so you're vegan?
no, I'm
what if
not
he's
vegan.
Who is?
I don't think John.
ve-
I don't think any of us are vegan. But I think that, like, I'm sympathetic toward vegans. I don't think that. I think they're right.
I'm a
Who here is-
vegetarian.
Okay, that's bias. I don't want to hear bias.
Wait, no.
That's bias.
Wait. Just to be
argument
clear.
is
Wait. Hold it.
No.
Hold it.
Wait. Okay, I'm gonna have to mute you to let John get his word out. So just let him get his
Alright.
word out, and then you can speak, Black
To
Tar.
realize you don't have to be vegan to realize animal suffering is bad. You know that, right?
You gotta unmute yourself. I
Are-
can't unmute you. Black Tar, all you gotta do is unmute yourself. I sent you the invite to unmute. It's a little button at the bottom. There you go.
Anyways, your whole argument is just bias.
Did you hear
just-
anything? Wait. Can you repeat back what John just said?
But I think the animal argument is biased.
Wait, no.
because John-
Repeat back what John just said.
What did John say?
See, you weren't even listening.
no,
Like, how
I-
are you gonna
I'm
critique
the
and you're not
brother.
listening?
I'm brother 2. I'm brother 1. Okay, so like I'm the original.
All
guy.
right, John, repeat what your question was.
Bro, what is it? Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
the other
perfect.
guy. I wasn't listening.
That's fine. We cannot be vegan and still hold to like the fact that like animals don't deserve to suffer, right? These things aren't mutually exclusive, right? I say that animals shouldn't suffer, and I hope you say the same thing, right? And when I see these animals suffering, like a gazelle being torn apart by a lion, or like a tree falling on a deer, and that tree making that deer like starve slowly and painfully, while the deer is scared and confused, I think that's really bad. Unless you think otherwise, which would kind of be absurd.
How does life go on? That though, the tree falling onto a deer, that's like natural tragic events, and lions eating other animals, that's a
Okay.
natural cycle of life.
Okay, so I think the issue that we're having here is I think we're just fundamentally not understanding each other. So what we're saying, right, is we're not saying that we recognize that these are natural phenomenon. We understand these are things of life. But what
Yeah,
we're
hold
saying is that
Can I give my comment? Let me clarify. I understand what you're saying. If God was real, why would he allow that? But animals don't like they're not like applicable in this. Like it is man who is made in the image of God. I said it once already. Like animals like live a completely different life,
Yes,
and
okay. I
whatever they
understand what you're
experience
saying, right?
within
But
this
that's not the
happens.
issue that we're having. The issue we're having is that what we're saying is if you want to make an argument that humans deserve suffering, that's fine, but that's not what we're saying, right? We're not making that argument. What we're arguing is that if God is all good and all powerful and if animals aren't really part of his plan the way the humans are, then he should have no problem in making them in ways where they don't have to be ripping each other to shreds or they don't have to experience grotesque pain and feel getting torn apart by the lion or being crushed by a tree in the woods where no one is around to hear them or being burnt alive by wildfires. Like these things don't need to happen where these animals are suffering unnecessarily, especially when there's no motive or reason for them to be suffering. And if God is all good, he would have motive to not have them suffer.
Okay, continue.
I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah. So do you understand the argument that we're making? We're not talking about human suffering.
So you're just talking about animal suffering.
Yes.
So it's built on just pure feelings alone.
It's not pure feelings. Do you think that animals deserve to suffer?
Well, honestly, no. When it comes to like for instance, like
Okay,
when I
wait.
see
No. I don't want to go on the spiel again, right? I want you to so you answered, you don't think animals deserve to suffer, but God allows them to suffer. So I want you to justify why it's okay that God allows them to suffer.
Why is it morally permissible for God allowed to for God to allow like the deer to like starve to death? Why is that morally permissible?
survival and Loki, that's how the way it is. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
Wait, okay, wait, hold it. Is it morally permissible, yes or no?
Not morally permissible, but the thing is that animals even get some liberties. Honestly,
Is it
animals
moral or
don't have to
immoral?
worry about sin.
Is it
Animals
moral or
don't have to-
immoral?
It's not
Animals are
immoral.
not that aware of sin either. So
Yeah, it's not. It's not
regardless
immoral.
of if they live,
It's not immoral? Wait, just to be clear, if I created a universe in which like I had like deers starving to death, koalas dying in wildfires, you know, that wouldn't be immoral, that'd be completely immoral or amoral?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, wildfires are the doing of man. That's a sin.
No, they're
But-
not. Wait, hold up. No, they're not. Not all wildfires are caused by man. Some are, yeah, but there's a lot that just start by themselves.
Global warming, like
Yeah, global warming happens all the time. You do realize, like, humans are affecting global warming, of course, but global warming happens. Like, it's a natural thing. Like the Earth heats up and it cools down. That's what happens. That's why we've had ice ages.
Yeah, but it could have been prevented easily. Like there's many efforts that
Wait. So wait. I just want to be clear that your argument is saying that global warming is what causes deers that starve to death.
No, I'm talking about the wildfires.
that is. Oh, we're talking about the wildfires. So, okay. So you're saying that climate change is what causes wildfires? Fires?
Does it not?
No, it doesn't.
How does it not?
Do you know how wildfires start?
Dryness.
Yeah.
And then heat.
Yeah,
The
and you do
climate-
realize that global
It's
warming.
harder.
You do realize there are dry parts of the world without global warming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
know.
So it's not global warming that causes fucking wildfires.
What causes
It's not
wildfires?
necessarily global warming. Global warming can like help like speed up like wildfires starting, sure. But it's not gonna be necessarily caused by global warming. It's just gonna be
Wait, so
there
could
to
I-
like accelerate like how long it takes to like the wildfire to start. That's all global warming's there to do.
So how do wildfires start?
Well,
What do you
wildfires
call-
can start from a variety of ways. One way that they can start naturally is like lightning storms, for example. Lightning can cause it can like start wildfires just by like igniting like dry bush.
Hold on a second. People you don't know, it's fine. Say that again.
Yeah, I'm just saying wildfires can start in many ways naturally. One way that's common is like lightning strikes.
Mm-hmm. What other ways?
Let's see. It looks like it looks like that's gonna be one of the main causes is wildfires. It could be heat from the sun. Yeah, I mean, like these are natural causes that can cause wildfires. It's not all just man-made.
You only have two reasons.
They're natural reasons, aren't they? Do you need more than 2 reasons for it to be
Um,
considered natural caused?
it would be helpful
For what?
to like to gain like better my understanding. How do wildfires get so bad without humans being involved at all?
Okay, well that's a different conversation. I'm saying that wildfires can start natural ways. Now you're saying I'm not saying that humans don't cause wildfires at all.
I understand what you're saying, but humans are either indirectly connected or directly, and it's based off of what we do as a collective.
No,
to
no,
prevent-
not at all.
No, totally.
Like,
Because
wait. Do humans cause lightning strikes?
no, definitely not.
Do humans cause heat? The sun to heat?
Definitely not. But don't. Cut me
Okay,
off.
so I don't know what your point is.
Wildfires can definitely start. I'm not saying that they can't, but they get severe because of the things we've been doing to the earth.
Do you have proof for that?
I
That the
don't
sole
think I-
reason wildfires get severe is because of human causes?
Could be the argument for that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make an argument for that. That's just a claim.
It's definitely it's not a claim. It's definitely a fact. Like, do you think
Okay, well
Wait,
then,
we
can you
want-
substantiate it?
or California got so bad because
Yeah,
of,
California got bad
lightning
because it's
strikes?
dry. California has a dry climate.
Yeah, but it's also like made worse by the carbon emissions and many more things. Like there's like it's like it makes no sense to not have humans be a factor in global events that affect everybody.
I'm not saying they're not a factor. I'm saying that they're not the sole cause. I'm saying these things can start by themselves.
Well, a lightning strike shouldn't be that devastating, especially for the wildfires in LA. Do you think that wasn't possibly a result of humans being negligent of climate change?
No,
Like,
lightning strikes can happen all the time. Volcanoes can erupt, and those can start wildfires. Just spontaneous combustion happens. I don't know what more proof you need. Like, look, did you not see what happened to Hawaii? Their volcano erupted, and their whole state burnt to the
That's a
ground from
volcano,
fire.
bro.
Yeah,
That's a
and you know what
volcano.
it caused? It caused wildfires.
Yeah, but that's a volcano. That's a more direct.
Wait,
Wait,
But
what?
stuff like that's way more direct. A volcano is like
It's a nat.
But
It's,
that
sorry,
proves their
sorry,
point.
sorry. Just to be clear, do you recognize that
wildfires
volcanoes
don't.
are naturally caused, and that if they cause wildfires, that's a natural cause to a wildfire? You do realize that, right?
I think the reductio landed there.
volcanoes erupting and doing that is uncommon. Like that's inevitable. That's inevitable. A volcano is gonna cause fire. That's
Wait.
like
I'm not saying
getting-
that. Wait. Again, all my claim was that wildfires are not 100% man-made. These things are caused by natural causes. It's not solely because of humans.
Yeah,
So-
but we're talking about forest fires.
I said wildfires.
Sorry, wildfires.
And again, just so you know, so I'm on my government website in my area. It says the most wildfires in my area are actually started by lightning strikes. So
Where do you live?
I'm
Sorry.
not going to disclose that.
I mean, like country.
Yeah, I live in Canada.
Canada has Oh my goodness, I am uneducated in that factor. But
Wait,
I'll just-
hold up. So you're arguing about wildfires and you don't understand that Canada has wildfires?
I just didn't know that statistic.
Holy fucking shit. Like, do you know anything?
Yeah, I
Wait,
do.
let's simmer. Let's all calm down here. Blackstar, to be honest, I think you're kind of like out of your depth here.
What was the original
Um,
argument?
You can't track
no,
100, bro.
I can admit. I'm
Okay, you know what?
probably-
I'll restate the argument. Premise. I'm saying that the reason the Christian God doesn't exist is because it entails a contradiction. This being that God is all good, but God can't be all good because of the pro-tanto evils in the world. That was the original.
Oh yeah, we were talking about animals. Okay, yeah, I think animals have it probably 100% better than
It's also
man.
Wait.
That's
What's
such
gonna
a
be
lie.
your argument for that?
Yeah, I was gonna be
They
the
don't gotta
argument for
pay
that.
taxes. They ain't gotta worry about. They ain't gotta worry about sinning. They go to
Okay,
heaven
so
straight away.
wait. So you would rather be like a deer in the woods that is risking getting mauled to death by bears, by mountain lions, by any other carnivorous creature, and that you're living in fear for your whole life, hoping that you don't die of starvation or
It's no
being
different from
brutally
human
torn
life.
apart. You
It
would
is no
rather
different from
that
human life.
life than human
That's
life.
no different from human life.
It's no different than human life.
That's
Also,
such a lie.
That's such a lie.
bro,
You're so
you don't
bad
live in
faith.
Canada. You don't live in Canada.
I live in Canada. Yes, I do.
Bro, literally, I said this before. This is second brother. Wait, second brother. It's just the consequences of our fall to the glory of God's commands. That's why.
But
Yo,
these
how did?
things-
Okay, again, John, you go ahead. I can't.
yeah, these things happened before the fall. Like these things happened before sin was introduced into the world. We have dinosaurs getting cancer. We have wildfires still happening before
We
the
had,
fall.
we had a
Man,
statement before that. Sin has always existed. Always
Wait,
existed.
just to-
Always have.
Okay, wait.
Wait.
Sorry, John. It seems like that this isn't really going anywhere. So, do you have anything else, Black Tar? Because, like, it
No.
seems you're incapable of arguing this position.
Okay, buddy, don't be mean. I'm being respectful. I even admitted I was wrong.
Well, I'm trying to, like, I would like to actually have some conversations, and it seems we're going in
Okay.
circles. It seems you don't really comprehend what we're talking about.
okay, I comprehend what you're talking about, but
Okay,
John
what's
should
the
just
argument?
Just like denied what we have spent.
Yo,
like
can you
10 minutes
repeat
saying.
John's argument back?
John said sin existed after the dinosaurs. After we told
No,
him.
what was his original argument?
I can't even remember, bro.
Yeah, see, okay, this is exactly why. So,
no,
do you
you
have
can-
anything else? Because you simply just can't track.
Okay, this is second brother. I think you guys' argument is ignorant, biased, and selfish.
Yeah, do you want to
The
give the
reason
reductio
why-
to it?
The reason why you guys think like that because you guys think God is like unfair, even though by the consequences.
I'm
of
not
our
hearing a
fall-
reductio to the position.
Okay, hold on. Could you tell me what that is?
Yeah, it's just
Reductio
gonna be.
absurdum. It's when a position entails a contradiction, like your position.
Give the spot to somebody else. I kind of want to use my phone. Something
Okay.
so.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, bye bye. We love you.
Yeah. All right, Cozy, we're gonna bring you up. This guy says that he's an adult, so hopefully, he'll be good faith. I'm sure he will. Hey, man, how's it going? How old are you?
Good. I'm 33.
Okay. Do you have an argument that proves theism to be true?
So, well, first off, I would just love to ask a couple of questions because I am a little confused as to, I think I don't want to argue like Christian theism. I want to argue just the idea of a deity in general. Does that make sense?
Yeah, go ahead. Wait, just to be clear, when you mean the deity, do you just mean classical theism, omni-tried divine simplicity, or do you hold some sort of deist worldview?
Theism, the belief in a deity. So not necessarily a Christian deity, not a Hindu deity, not a Jewish deity. Just
I get
a
that. I
deity.
know I get that, right? But is like God is it gonna be a type of classical theism, a type of pantheism, or a type of deism? Because like there's multiple different types of theism out there.
Sure, we're gonna do the basic.
Classical,
I
okay.
would say, yeah, basic
Omni-tried.
theism. Doesn't have to be good, doesn't have to be bad, just a deity. The existence of something outside of humanity in a kind of creative way that we don't
So
know.
okay, so you're arguing a deist God. Yeah, wait. So and just to be clear, when you mean deity, you just mean an agent that created the universe, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, go ahead and give your argument.
Okay. So my argument is that even just like listening to the past circular conversation, so much of these arguments are completely relative to your already structured belief system. It's completely relative to what you think the universe is structured as. So you're going to talk in circles with no matter who is arguing their point of view because you're not going to land on the same belief. Like people don't even believe that the dinosaurs existed. Not saying that that's right, but you're not going to be able to argue the problem of evil because dinosaurs having cancer if people don't even believe in the structure of carbon dating. So my question is, what is the point of arguing the non-existence of something when you can neither prove the existence nor prove the non-existence of it?
Just to be clear, this is your argument, right?
My argument is just as much as you can't prove theism absolutely, you can't disprove it either.
Oh yeah,
Because the
there's like so many
conversation-
ways. Yeah, so when it comes to problem of evil, he was a Christian, so we were like arguing against a Christian God, right? But
Yeah.
just to be clear, yeah, so because there's no sound argument for theism being true, I'm just gonna be justified that theism isn't gonna be true, and atheism's gonna be more parsimonious because it's gonna have the same amount of explanatory power as like a deist worldview, but it's just gonna be simpler, making it more parsimonious. The whole two.
See, I don't know that that's true though, because you've seen when evidence wise, you've
Wait,
seen
what's the argument for
societies.
that?
My argument is evidence wise, when you've seen societies cling to atheism as a worldview, you've seen the collapse of culture multiple times. You saw that when Hitler took over Nazi Germany. You saw that with Attila the Hun. You've seen that with all of these different people in societies that clung to an atheist belief, Fidel Castro. You have horrible crimes against humanity just as much as you had with the conquests that were
Wait,
also done under, just as much as you
wait,
have with the Ottoman Empire.
how
You,
does this lessen the parsimony? How does this lessen the parsimony of atheism?
I just don't think that it works in the same way that you're claiming that it does.
Wait, do you
I
know what
don't think that.
parsimony is?
What did you say? What did you say?
I said atheism is more parsimonious a whole to than any type of theism because it'll have the same amount of explanatory power for explaining the universe, and it's simpler. That's why it's more parsimonious.
So I don't know parsimonious in regards to theology because I only know that word in regards to like spending and budgeting. So how do you mean to use the word parsimonious in regards to theology because that is normally used with like
Um,
Like Occam's razor,
expenditure?
right, John?
yeah. So when it comes to parsimony,
Because that means
in
unwilling to
philosophy,
spend money or use resources. That's what parsimonious means. But that's normally in regards to budgeting and finances. So I don't understand that word contextually within this discussion.
yeah. So parsimony in philosophy is just gonna have to do with what raises the probability of a hypothesis, and this would be explanatory power and Occam's razor.
Okay. I'm just not familiar with that word being used specifically in philosophy.
Yeah. So when it comes to Occam's razor, it's just gonna be that the simplest explanation is gonna be like the most probable one, and
Okay, so you're
parsimony
doing
adds
all of this with like,
explanatory power on top of Occam's razor.
sure. But isn't all of that still like totally relative?
No,
Are you sure? How is it not
dude,
relative?
because atheism being simpler than theism is gonna be obviously true. We have an eternal universe versus an eternal being creating the universe. Which one is more simpler ontologically?
But just something being simpler doesn't guarantee its validity.
I'm saying it's more probable.
Yeah, but that's still not an absolute. Proof is an absolute. Evidence is an absolute. You are not arguing in absolutes at all. I've not heard one absolute yet. That doesn't prove or disprove the existence of
Because
anything.
we can only come up to absolutes if we have certain properties of God established, right? But you haven't established the properties of God, so obviously we have to be talking about probability. And if it's
But
more
you
probable for wait, hold it. And if it's more probable for X to be true, we'd be justified in believing X to be true rather than the other hypothesis. And because atheism is more probable than theism being true, you won't be justified in believing theism, but rather you'd be justified in believing in atheism being true. Obviously.
But the reason why thousands of people to billions of people believe different belief sets that they do is because of the evidence that they have experienced within their own lives that have proved to them the existence of what they believe. I'm not saying that any of that is true, but to them, relatively, they have proof based on the structure of the life and culture and society that is built around them.
You can have certain experiences, sure, but I don't see these people going around saying, "Oh yes, I have arguments for God. I can prove God to exist." I don't see those people doing that.
Yes, but I don't have the same thing with people being able to say that they can absolutely disprove him either.
I never. Wait, when once did we claim we could absolutely disprove God? What we're
Well,
asking for was It's to give an
Your
argument for
advertising,
true.
your advertisement and the picture behind you says prove theism. Give an
Yes.
argument to prove that God exists. So what is the point of that if you can't prove that he doesn't exist either? I don't
Wait,
understand. Like,
we could give tons of arguments for why God exists, right? We have like ontological arguments. We have like contingency arguments. We have like lots of arguments for theism being true, right? So obviously you can give an argument for theism and being true, without needing personal experience. And if it turns out you can give an argument for theism being true, then you proved God exists, right? And I've given arguments to lessen the probability of God. So it's just going to make us justified in believing that atheism is more true, more probable than theism. And if atheism is more probable, you're going to be justified in believing in atheism rather than theism.
but do you understand what I'm saying with those probabilities being completely relative to societal structure?
No, what? No, I'm not talking about society. I'm talking about what?
The society that you live in, where you received your education, how you've educated yourself, the way that you've grown up, has all poured into what you believe now, right?
Yeah, sure.
Where you went
But
to
what does
school.
that have to do with anything?
So those numbers, they only exist like relatively based on how you grew up.
No, I'm not talking like these numbers. They're not dependent on the person's society. They're dependent on parsimony, and parsimony isn't going to be relative to society. Whether or not you reject parsimony, though, that might be. But then you have to give some sort of account for what is better than parsimony. You give an argument against parsimony.
But how does that even like? How does it? And maybe it's just my autism speaking, where I'm just not clicking. Like with, I don't understand how you can disprove something or prove something like if it's contingent on like either direction. Like you can't prove it just as much as you can't disprove it, and you're using probability as the way to disprove something.
Yeah,
But if you
we
add in the
can
numbers
probability
for
do
people that have spiritual experiences, which I mean, if experience holds up in a court of law, why wouldn't it hold up in this either?
Yeah, just to be clear, because we can't like go into their brain to see if it was like actual like divine revelation, right? And there's like tons
But
of
what
people
about what
that
about
say,
what about documented medical miracles that happen regularly?
yeah, by miracle, I just take it to be something that has like a low probability, right? So if something has like a
Right.
low probability, there's gonna be like no nomological contradiction nor true
But that's a
contradiction in
low
that.
probability. That's a low
Yeah,
probability
that doesn't mean
is
it's like some account
relative.
of God. That doesn't mean it's some
No,
account of
but
God.
that's
That could be
relative to
completely
you.
natural.
You're deciding that that's a low probability. That is your decision. That's not just
Wait.
evidence being documented and added up to create the number of a probability. You are making a decision that, oh, well, that's probably a low probability. You are deciding that based on your already structured belief.
No. I'm saying what a miracle is something of low probability happening.
Well, it's actually like medical anomalies where people make quick recoveries when they're not supposed to is way more common than you think.
Yeah, what's a
Happens all the time.
nomological contradiction?
Can you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, what's the nomological contradiction?
I'm not familiar with that word.
Nomology just has to do with the laws of nature. So, what law of nature does it contradict when someone makes a quick recovery? Yeah, I agree that it's like it'd be like low probability speaking, but there's no like contradiction with like the laws of nature, nor true contradiction within like any type of logic system or classical logic system. Just to be clear.
Yeah. So are you asking me a question or are you making a statement?
I'm asking you what's the contradiction with the laws of nature when someone like makes a quick recovery?
Yeah, like let's say somebody has cancer and they're not supposed to survive, but for some reason their body responds differently than what they're expecting and they recover and are well.
Yeah, what's the contradiction with the laws of nature with that?
Is by adding the numbers they should not have survived, but they did.
I'm not talking about yeah, I agree that like a miracle is something with like low probability, but I'm asking which which like law of nature does it violate when they do that? Which law of nature does it violate?
Well, wouldn't that technically be thermodynamics with like stuff breaking down? But
Huh?
it's not breaking down. Wouldn't that be the law of thermodynamics where stuff all
Which
breaks
one?
down? The uh,
I'll bring SMK up.
I'm trying to remember if it's the third or the second.
Yeah, when you find out, feel free to tell us.
Dynamics down. I'm trying to remember the one. Is it the second law? The spontaneous
Second,
process of things breaking
I
down.
think second law is entropy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay. So like going against that where like things should break down, but they don't. A human body should start to break down. We all die. We all disintegrate. Eventually we turn back into soil because we are an
Yeah.
organism.
But
so
but
somebody
but
in the
if someone has
process of
cancer
disintegrating, reversing
and they
that.
survive, that doesn't contradict the law of thermodynamics.
Okay.
I don't see the P and not P in that. Of like someone of someone having a high probability of dying from cancer, but they still survive. I don't see how that would contradict what the laws of thermodynamics.
Okay, that's fine. So my whole point in just like speaking hasn't been to prove theism, but it was to argue that
Why
it
you
can't
up?
be disproved either. That's all that I was saying.
Trivial.
Yeah, that's kind of trivial. To like what we want, right? But I
That's
guess if
okay.
you wanted to like come up here and like say that, you could. I don't really see. No, I don't think anyone here sees like an issue with that.
That was all. That was just my claim was okay.
Yeah.
Because it just seems like the reason why it's confusing listening to people talk. Because I've been listening for a while, but you're making arguments outside of people's belief structures. So because of that, they're never
Huh?
going to understand what you're saying.
Wait, what argument was made outside of their belief structure?
So making arguments of like even just like like a lot of Christians believe totally differently about the foundations of the earth. They believe in a totally different story than what we believe biologically or scientifically. A lot of them do. Anyway. So and you're making
Not
different
necessarily.
arguments.
No. There's like tons of like Christian scientists that like believe in like the natural, like that believe like in the Earth's formation from science, while still believing in the Bible. Even so, like a lot of like Christians, like a lot of Catholics especially, like they take like a Genesis, which is supposed to be like the creation of the earth, to like be
Yeah.
like a big metaphor, to be metaphorical, purely metaphorical.
Sure.
So I don't think that's like necessarily the case.
Okay. Have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Love
Yeah,
you,
you
man.
too.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks for coming up. If
All right,
you
everyone, keep on pressing, keep double tapping. We're so close to 10K. Nihilist is gonna have to reveal his face.
one more
He's
like away, and we're gonna have 6,666 likes on
Yep.
the live.
Make sure to keep on double tapping.
Buddy.
Yeah, make sure you're tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, especially if they believe in a God. If you
Yep.
want to come and join up and talk to John or SMK or me, all you have to do is be above the age of 18 and have an argument that proves God exists, or at least an argument for why God exists. If you can bring that, then we can have a good conversation.
And again, please come up with an argument. I don't think we're gonna be given any more arguments. If you don't have an argument, you're probably Actually, yeah. Actually, I don't care that much, but yeah, just make sure to come up with like some sort of argument.
Icon, I
Um,
saw you in the guest request again. If no one's in there right now, if you do want to
yeah,
still come up, by all means, request up and I'll bring you up.
yep,
Snickers. Oh shit. Whoops.
bro.
That's crazy.
My fault. I said this nickel. Oh, never mind.
Hey, Icon, how's it going? How
how's it
old are
going,
you?
man? Like 45.
All right,
Like
John.
40. Yeah, what's gonna be your
Yeah, is that
argument for
okay?
theism being true?
Oh no, I'm an agnostic atheist. I actually have an argument
Oh,
against God, and I'll bounce because I know you want theism arguments, but I thought there was nobody else in line.
No,
Wait.
you're good. Yeah, you can chat for a little bit. No one's in line. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, so you said Occam's razor earlier when you were talking about that. What was the word for simplicity? I hadn't heard it before.
oh yeah. So yeah, Occam's razor is just gonna be simplicity, and parsimony has to
Parsimony.
do.
Yeah.
Parsimony has to do with parsimony has to do with Occam's razor and explanatory power.
Yes, yes. And the one thing you said about it though was the simplest explanation. I would expand on that and say it's the explanation that makes the fewest assumptions.
Yeah. I think
Because
that's kind of
technically,
like
God did it would be the simplest
yeah.
explanation, right? However, but it's not the simplest. It's the one that makes the fewest assumptions about how that thing came.
But I think if an argument makes like fewer assumptions, it'd be like simpler by definition.
Sure. Yeah, that's why parsimony
Yeah.
was new to me. That's why I was like, oh, this is another way to talk about Occam's razor. So
Yeah.
I took the Bible as the thing that I wanted to look at with Occam's razor specifically. So as
Yeah.
an explanation for the Bible, I could say two things. I could say humans like to create and tell stories, and I feel like this is demonstrable. And then the second thing I would say is that humans are capable of believing something's true when it's not.
Yeah.
And I believe that is also demonstrable. And so I think those two claims could explain the Bible as a whole.
Yeah.
And what I was trying to juxtapose that with is the assumptions that a believer needs to make for the Bible to be what they think the Bible is, or the explanation for what their Bible is, which is true and or authoritative in some sense.
Yeah.
And so how I stacked it up with the last... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. Now this has some case. So you guys just take over for me, and I'll see you when I'm back.
Thanks. And so what I was trying to frame it as is so for a believer to say the Bible is true or authoritative, their assumptions would have to start at it's possible for something like a God to exist. And they assume that, yes, that is true. And then it would be God does exist. And so that's a second assumption. And then on top of that, it would be God created humans, right? The next one would be God has the ability to use humans to write stories.
Wait.
Yep.
No, never mind. Continue. I was gonna ask a question, but I understood it.
Okay. Has the ability to write stories. And then the next one would be God then used his ability to have humans write the stories in the Bible.
Yeah.
Right. And then if any one of those six assumptions is not in favor of the theist, then their whole worldview kind of falls apart, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the Christians specifically, yeah, not for any theist, no.
And I would probably also even also argue that like when you presuppose God, you're all like, especially with the Christian God, you're also presupposing like the omni properties, which have a whole issues in themselves, especially with the writings written about that God. And
you know what, I had a much longer list before, but I'm trying to get it down to just like a tight six that they can't wiggle out of, right? Because if any one of those things is not the case, and it should be, if I lay them out in order, I should be able to demonstrate that it's both possible that a God exists and not possible that a God exists. It's both possible that a God exists that created humans and possible that a God exists that didn't create humans. So just to show that each one of these assumptions is essential for the Bible to be what they say it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would probably agree with that.
But so how do it's fun when I'm trying to talk to apologists about it, it's like I'm not playing the same conversation as them. So you can't talk like this about it. if it's outside of the, like, they can't entertain the idea that God doesn't exist, so they can't entertain ideas in which God doesn't exist.
Yeah, so with Christians specifically, I've noticed that like the best way to like talk to them is obviously just going to be an internal critique. It's
Right.
like just presuppose their worldview and then find contradictions, and it is going to be the fastest way. And like for me personally, like when I'm talking about the Bible, I find talking about God being all good, like finding contradictions about that, it's fairly easy to do, especially in the Old Testament. And then like there's a lot of verses if you read it that like are just pretty much indefensible from the Christian's perspective. And then like the only issue is like when you're arguing with the Bible, you have to deal with a lot of BS. Like they're gonna bring up a lot of like post hoc writings like from church fathers and stuff to like explain away. So you have to really look at like the context of the verse, like what the author was trying to convey, and like that happens all the time too with like when they're talking about Jesus' prophecies, right? Like a lot of the prophecies in Matthew aren't even actual Mosaic or messianic prophecies, right? They're just quotations taken from the Old Testament. So
The historicity is what I like to talk about when I talk about the Bible, because events like Noah's Ark are not historical, or
Yeah.
the Exodus from Egypt are not historical. The Garden of Eden is not historical.
yeah. Well, if you like arguing historical perspectives, I've noticed like a lot of those things they'll kind of just try to hand wave like as like saying they're not like they don't affect your salvation if you believe in them or not.
Yeah.
Which I personally kind of find an issue with, but if like I do think if you're going to argue about historicity, then the resurrection of Jesus is like your best bet, because
Oh yeah.
there is like so little evidence to suggest that that is the case. And it's just kind of funny
and
you get to
if
see
I
the,
was going to take that argument, my key points on that would be that the Gospels are anonymous. We don't know who actually wrote the Gospels, so they're the stories were oral traditions over generations that eventually got written down. But yeah, there's no eyewitnesses or anything in the Bible. It's not an authoritative book. I guess that's why I kind of shifted over to the Bible to say, hey, the Bible's not authoritative. Like, why are we entertaining the idea that when it's authoritative when we can explain it with these two things?
yeah, the best way to like debunk their religion is to use their own book, right? And so and yeah, you're right. Like when we're trying to build a historical argument for the resurrection of Jesus, we have to look at the source material, and obviously that's going to be the Bible, because that's what we base our beliefs of Jesus on, or at least the Christian will. And so if you can like substantiate that they aren't written anonymously, they aren't written by eyewitness testimony. Like I believe it's Mark and Luke weren't even eyewitnesses to Jesus' life. I think Luke was Paul's traveling physician and Mark was a contemporary companion, I believe. And you can also even point out that Matthew and John and the Synoptic Gospels disagree with a lot of things. And yeah.
'cause John was written so much later.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that's huge for me, but I don't think it registers at all, is the idea that Paul had his experience so much after the actual crucifixion. Like, Paul never met Jesus when he was alive and doing his stuff, right?
Yeah.
But like 75% of the New Testament, or 50% of the New Testament, is Paul's stuff. And Paul's just a human that he had an experience that he interpreted as Jesus, but that's different than people coming back from the dead and all these theological concepts being real.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's kind of a slam dunk. Like after, I mean, obviously, like the theist is probably going to deny that they are anonymous or whatnot.
Wait, hold on. Fanto, thank you for the rose.
Yeah, thank you, Fanto. I didn't see that before, but Icon, I got someone in my guest request box,
Yes,
so I'm
let me bounce.
I'm gonna pull them up. But it was a nice
I was
chat.
enjoying the conversation. Yeah.
No, I did too. It was nice that you came up. It was nice to chit chat, and nice having you up. Everybody else, keep tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Again, if you want to join, you just have to press the guest request box at the bottom, be above the age of 18, and bring an argument for why theism is true. And we'll go to the next guest. Hey, how's it going? How old are you?
Not 18.
Then why did you request?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is 18 years old or older. Ooh.
Come on. I see some Christians in the chat. Come on, guys. You guys can come up. Like, we won't
Make
bite.
sure to keep on double tapping on the screen. Share. Keep
Yep.
tapping. We're so close to 10K. 9.6. That's because I have to show his face real soon.
Oh my
cooked.
god. Oh
He's
shit.
done
Oh god. I'm fucked.
for. He's scrapped.
Hey, but if
SMK's gonna roast the shit out of him.
yeah, if you guys if you Christians want to come and defend your belief, please by all means come on up. We will not tag team you. All three of us will not jump onto you. It'll just be one-on-one. Don't worry. We're not bad faith like that. But yeah, just make sure you're above 18 and that you have an argument that proves that God exists. If you have those, then we can all have a good discussion.
Yeah.
Oh god, I should probably get my camera. It's getting there.
He's cooked.
What mic do I use? I use a cheap one off of Amazon. It's called F Deuce, I think.
Type. Oh wait. Like. We're so close.
No,
2,000.
do not like the
2,000.
live.
Like.
Scroll off. Do not request to join.
Are you I'm kind of agnostic to the position, but I do have friends who are staunchly communist.
Oh fuck, we're at 10K. Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, nihilist. Oh shit. Oh.
Okay. Let me get my camera
Keep
on.
on liking though. Make get more people to see it.
Okay. Just gotta make sure you guys can't see my background because I don't need you guys seeing my bedroom. Let's let me see. There's a way for me to turn on my camera. Hold up. Oh, okay. I might have to plug it in. Hold up. I might have to plug my camera in.
Dude, his webcam is not working. We're having some technical difficulties. But keep on tapping if you want. If you have an argument for God, feel free to come on up request. Yeah. SMK, you there? Oh no, he's gone.
All right, some technical difficulties. Give me 1 second.
Also, Nihilus has a Discord server, so it'd be nice to see all the friendly faces on here and there as well. We have debates, and you'll probably see me in there with a better microphone. Narnia is more believable than heaven. I'd be correct. Make sure to keep on tapping. Tap, tap, tap.
hey, all you viewers, if you have an argument for why God exists and you are above the age of 18, we would love to have you in the guest request box down below. By all means, join up.
Yeah. Don't forget, if you're just here to watch, make sure to keep on tapping the like. Um, really appreciate it. All the friendly faces here. Oh wait, LeBron is my king. You have someone that requests up now, unless you want to
Oh, okay,
accept them.
yep. Oh, this guy. Hey, how's it going? How old are you?
Okay, so if
Yeah.
God isn't real, then how do we see
Wait,
the
Sorry,
brother,
bro. Sorry. I gotta ask. Like, how old are you? Can you? Are you above the age of 18?
bro?
I muted you real quick. You can unmute if you want.
I'm still in the womb. What do you mean?
Okay, bro. Well, then how are
There
you
is
on
a
the how are
fetus.
you on the phone?
Yo,
How are you on the
this
phone if
guy's
you're
a
still in the
fetus,
womb?
bro.
All right. Let's see.
My mom ate it. What? His mom ate the phone.
Some crazy work. Okay. I mean, I think I turned on my camera. I think should be able to see me
Yeah,
now.
hello?
Hi, SMK.
Yeah, hello?
When Alice turns on his camera, like roast the shit out of him, bro.
Oh yeah, you guys are gonna have fun with this.
SMK, make fun of
I,
Nihilus, bro. You just gotta bully the fuck out of him.
listen right fucking here. I would never, ever make fun of Nihilus. This nice,
That's
No.
handsome
such a
young
lie.
man.
It's okay. You can make fun of me. I'm cool with it.
No, you're fucking beautiful. You hear me? You're beautiful. Am I allowed to curse on
You know what
TikTok?
Yeah,
humiliation
you're allowed to
ritual
curse.
is?
Nigger?
Whoa.
You can't say that.
You can't say that.
You can't say nickel?
No, you can't say those
What's wrong with nickel?
words.
Like, nickel, the currency?
Nickel?
Nihilus, can I send a screenshot of, like, my arguments just in case I ever have to, like, whip them out and you can just put the image up?
We could just
Yeah,
say them.
sure.
Yeah, but I might, like, forget them. I'd be, like, forgetting them.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, definitely. Bro, do you have like dementia? Do you not remember your arguments going on here?
Where they're just, like, so long and complex on, like, your little puny two-premise conclusion modus ponens shitty arguments, so...
Bro, I saw you got kicked off that live the other night. I felt so bad.
Wait, let me send you the clip.
I already saw it. I already saw it.
Dude, she got confused and she kicked you off. That's so funny.
He didn't even get his argument out yet.
Oh no. That was a different time. There's like another time where he got kicked off.
There we go. Okay, perfect. All right. Let's see if I can get this camera working.
Are you gonna mog all your opponents or what?
No, I'm not gonna mog anybody. My opponents are about to mog me. Ready?
Tap tap tap. Make
Just
sure to keep on tapping.
Keep tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing it, all that good stuff. If you are above the age of 18, we would love to have you. If you're under the age of 18, we do not want you. We want you to be above the age of 18 and have an argument for why God exists. If you don't have those, we're probably not going to talk to you for that long. You see me now? I'm on the screen.
Yeah, I see. You look so fucking handsome, dude.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
I don't know who
That's
this
the
like
hot
golfing
dogs.
guy is. Listen, you can come up and we're all gonna just rhetorically spank you and intellectually
Yep.
use you like a little toy.
Yeah.
You little worm. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah, you guys
Tap,
can
tap.
come on up if you want.
Don't forget to keep on tapping.
Don't get me wrong, but you give off Eric. Bro, W?
No, that's not a W. Do you not know Eric Cartman is?
Dude, I've only seen like one episode of South Park.
Why is your mic a
Dude,
little
Eric-
echoey?
Is it
Eric
echoey?
Cartman's an evil.
Wait, talk?
Yo, hello?
It's whatever. I don't think anyone
Okay.
cares. I got deer around my dick.
Yeah, so
All right, now-
Christians, come on, one and all, come up to have a nice, good faith conversation.
Dark contingency. Boy, that's so freaking tough.
The antithesis of those proof God doesn't exist. Oh, yep.
Is that even like a coherent sentence, dude? Holy shit.
I can't keep my face on for too long. I got ops that follow me on this account.
He
Nihilus
has
and John, you guys
Christians
on
that
like
want his head because he debated a few too many pastors.
I am actively getting gang stalked by the Jehovah's Witness organization. Please send them letters and tell them to stop. But if you would like to have a good conversation specifically about why God does exist, all you have to do is give a little verification by answering to the question, are you above the age of 18? And if you're above the age of 18, we're going to let you in. If you're not, well, then you can go back to the delivery room.
Nihilus.
Yeah, what's up?
You need more rhetorical jabs. You have to say, if you want a fruitful, linear, progressive, dialectical discourse.
Dialectical
I'm
discourse.
working on it. I don't want to say something that I'm going to mess up, okay? You got to work my way up.
If you want to have a fruitful, linear, progressive, dialectical discourse about theism, make sure to request on We'll love to have you here.
All right, we've been streaming for 2 hours and 19 minutes. If we don't get anybody in the next 10 minutes, we'll probably end it. But we would love to have a conversation with any Christians or theists of any kind. Just please come on up and we have a good faith linear dialectic.
Good enough.
Yeah, okay. We'll work on it. We'll work on it for next live. Dude, I
When's
spent
the next
like
live?
I don't know. I might do one again tomorrow. We'll see how I'm feeling. Yeah, dude, I had to like block like 30 people on this account because I had too many JWs following me.
Cool. Yeah, someone tell
JW.
Wolfgang to come up. I want to beat you home.
Yeah, Wolfgang, here. I'll just send you a request. You can come on up. Dude, also, you do realize the invincible mark that you have in your profile picture, Golfwang, you do realize he died, like, almost immediately in the show. Tech Jacket, like, BTFO'd him almost immediately. No, you're good. It's okay. I understand. The appeal to be a keyboard warrior is more enticing than coming up and having a conversation. I understand.
Dude, that was rhetorical as shit. Oh my god. Holy fucking shit. Golfwang, just leave the VC. Oh my god.
Oh fuck. Oh shit.
Holy fucking shit, got embarrassed.
Spoilers.
Spoiler.
It's in the comics, Fanta. You just gotta read the comics.
Spoilers.
Wow, that's so funny.
You got the whole gang laughing at that one.
Alright. Everyone laughed at that.
Listen, Gang Wolf, I get it. Probably not that clever. You probably don't know about like a lot about philosophy or theology. That's really running away. You're scared. You're terrified. So if you want to prove that you're not, that you can just comment up, prove theism to be true.
We'll be generous. You can just like give an argument in the chat. I guess we'll talk to you in the chat since you're too scared to enter the rhetorical ring.
Fanto, I see you lurking. I know that you believe in God, and if you want to come up here and defend that belief, by all means, I would love for you to bring that argument up.
Phantom.
How many
They
games
like,
have
oh,
y'all
that's
gotten
crazy.
so far? Yeah, how many guests have y'all gotten so far?
What, like 3, 4? The first one was like
In 2 hours?
Yeah, well, yeah. The first hour was pretty barren. The Cartesian circle.
That's the stuff.
Oh wait, someone requested.
Oh, okay, here we go. Let's bring him up. All yours, John.
Yeah, so it's gonna be the argument for theism.
Oh, wait. How old are you? FWO?
Hello? Hello?
Whoa went. You're up on the live. I don't know if you know this, but we just need to know how old you are.
Oh, yo, what's up?
Are you above the age of 18?
No, I'm turning 18 in like 4 months.
Bro, I'm sorry, man.
Does
It's
this guy
against
know what
TikTok's
the
terms of service.
guy know what the BGV theorem states? Has you read like any of the literature on it?
Here, Pipsqueak, just like request back up and say, yeah, I'm 18. And then maybe the host will let you talk.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, I just need some verification that you are the age of 18. And the way you can verify is when I ask you, are you above the age of 18? All you got to do is say
You
yes.
say yes. You say yes with like no stutter, or like as long as you don't sound like a fetus. You know, you have to have hit puberty.
Your
That's kind of
argument your argument against it is just as good as the arguments for it. Yeah, you want to come and prove that, Timothy? You want to come up and prove that? By all means, the floor is yours. You get all these fucking lions in the chat, and none of them want to come up and roar in the VC, and it's really fuck.
Better.
Did I just say VC? Fuck.
Yeah. It's like the VC part wasn't the issue. The stutter was the part. That was the issue.
Rhetorical aura loss. Wolves in sheep's clothing. Hey, buddy, why don't you come and request up, and come have a good faith dialectic.
You have to say dialectical discourse.
Dialectical discourse. All right.
Nihilus has like no pathos ethos. I mean, he has a little bit of logos, but damn.
Wait, just to be clear, dumb fuck Timothy, when you say prove there, define prove, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with anybody that you think would love to listen to this live. And if you want to be part of the live, all you have to do is request down below. You must be above the age of 18, and you must have an argument for why theism is true. If you can provide that, then we can have a good discussion.
All you need to do is, if you believe God exists, you just need to give an argument.
More likely to prove he doesn't versus does. That's like such an incoherent statement. Holy
Like
shit.
I am at this point, I'm willing to hear out. Look at the trees. Like that's how thirsty I am to hear someone come up.
Ooh, fucking straight far coming out with fucking a banger of an argument that's unrefutable. Holy shit.
Something must be created by someone.
Wait, what's the argument for that?
What's gonna be the argument for that?
What's the argument for that?
Yeah, Street Far. Why don't you come and request up and back that claim?
Can I get mod powers in here?
Yeah, I think you just have to drop a chat and I can mod you real quick.
Wait, drop in the chat?
Sorry, no, drop a message in chat and I think I can mod you. Let's see. There you go.
Is John like on the same device? Like
Golfling.
No.
I love that you keep making these claims that the contingency argument is undefeated, but I would love if you come up here and defend the contingency argument. Go ahead. By all means, the guest request box is yearning for your touch.
I don't know how Monkey Boy does this for hours each day with these imbeciles.
Yeah, Monkey Boy looks like he wants to like off himself every time he goes live.
Boy, looks so different. Like, bro, you have like a bunch of like apes over here that know nothing about philosophy, regurgitating like the same like shitty arguments over and over and over again. Like, I'm tired of hearing that's the same 5 arguments. Contingency argument has been like defeated a plethora of different occasions. As in, like, when you have a contingency argument, you're gonna hold to like a S5 moral collapse.
Yeah, like, okay, you know what? Like, just if anyone believes in God, just come on up and I just want to hear the reason. I don't even care at this point. We need some guests coming up here. We need something to talk about. You know, I don't want to just be sitting here like, you know, jerking my gherkin, thinking about how I would love to BTFO Golfwang. Okay, and just keep tapping on the screen, sharing it with everybody. And if you'd like to join, just press the guest request box down below. And with that, we'll go to the next guest.
Bro,
Hey, how's it going? How old are you?
Oh,
I'm 18.
What year were you born?
2006.
All right.
Amazing.
What's going to be your argument for why God exists?
God exists because there's always a creator for everything, okay?
Okay, wait. So
Christ will save you, bro.
Wait. So you
turn-
you just made a claim, right? So you just made a
wait,
claim.
hold it. Wait. If God's a part of everything, so if everything needs a creator, then God needs a creator too, right?
What? Sorry?
If everything needs a creator, then God needs a creator too, right?
No,
Well, then you're
no,
just
no.
special
That's not.
pleading.
Then everything
No.
doesn't need a creator then. Then everything doesn't need a
Christ,
creator.
Christ will save you, bro. Like,
Proof?
Wait, give the
turn to
argument for that.
Christ. I'm telling you, bro. I got saved by Christ, and it was
Hey,
literally
listen, no one cares
a
about
mir-
this like anecdote. Just give the argument. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
just
Oh
no.
my god.
But from my personal experience, I'm not
Hey,
some type of.
What in what fucking way does your personal experience prove God to me in any metric?
You just have to turn to Christ. You gotta just try.
Wait, are
it,
you
Like,
bro.
the preacher giving an argument? Are you the
wait.
preacher giving?
Yeah, so wait, I'll entertain this for a minute. So like, how would I go about like praying? Should I pray to Jesus?
Pray to Jesus. Read the Bible.
Okay, well,
go to
I've read the
church,
Bible. I've read the Bible. I go to
Go to
church.
church.
I go to
And
church.
commit yourself to Christ, and He
Okay,
shall
wait,
save you.
wait. So read the Bible, pray, go to church. So I go to church, I read the Bible, and I'm still reading it. So we can pray. Oh Jesus, great Lord Jesus,
You're
if
not.
you can
You're
give
being
us any
sarcastic, though.
evidence that you
You're
exist,
being
I will
sarcastic.
turn to you, because my philosophy is that I want to believe as many true things that I can, and if you are true, then I do not want to waste a minute not believing in you, but I can't do that until I know you exist. So please, Jesus,
There's
give
lots
me
of
any
proof, bro.
proof.
Just go do your research.
Wait. You said there's plenty of
there's
proof. You said there's plenty of
lots
proof.
proof.
Okay, what can you give me one? What's one proof?
Okay, so one proof is
Come on, you said there was a lot of them.
there's a lot of proof. I just can't think.
But
off
you
the
just
top
can't
my
think of
head.
one. There's a lot of them, but you
No.
can't think of one.
I just woke up and I'm really tired, so I can't.
Why
I
does
can't.
God keep sending his most intellectually brain dead warriors to fight his strongest battles? I'm looking for an argument, and you said that
Devote
there is a
yourself to
plethora.
God, or you will go to hell. I'm telling you, bro. Just
Yeah,
Wait,
do you have an
wait, hold
argument
on.
that proves
turn
hell
to
exists?
Christ, bro.
There's the
Turn to
presupposition that hell
Christ.
does exist.
Yeah, you're just presupposing that these things are already existent. You need to prove that they do exist before I believe in them.
It's called having faith, bro. Do you know
All
what
right.
faith means?
I think
Yeah,
we have a
faith
problem.
means that I can't prove this, therefore, you're just saying
faith
trust me,
is-
bro.
No, that's not what faith is.
Then what's
bro.
faith? What's faith?
Just because you never seen God, it doesn't mean you can't trust Him. Bro,
Well, okay,
having
wait. So,
faith, having faith is trusting.
okay, well, I want to ask you a hypothetical then. I want to ask you, say that you got a letter, right? And this letter says things about your life that are true. And then the letter sends something and it says, this is going to happen to you. Avoid this. Avoid going to this spot. And sure enough, you avoid going to that spot and something bad happens there. So would you trust this anonymous person just because the things that they're saying about your life is true? Would that give them leeway for you to give trust to them?
I wouldn't trust them because they're not God.
Wait, but that's not wait. So I didn't bring up God, right? So I'm asking, you wouldn't trust them because why? Like, God isn't part of this analogy.
Why would I trust an anonymous letter? What?
Wait, you only trust God? So when your mechanic fixes your car, you don't trust him that he's gonna fix your car?
No, okay. What?
So just wait, Sensei.
Why are you turning this into?
So what I'm asking, right, is someone's sending you these letters, and these letters are giving you good insight into your life, right? And they're giving you almost, I would say, evidence that this is true.
Okay.
But how, would you still believe what this would you trust this person to believe, would you trust this person that's sending you the letters even though you've never met them before?
It's kind of hard. I probably would, cause I don't know how I would stand. I don't know, but
Okay, well, wait. So why would you trust them?
Because they're literally they're saying shit that happens in real time. So I'll really
okay, so they're saying things that are true, the things that are saying are coming true, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that gives you leeway to trust them. So your level of trust is if somebody is relaying true information, correct? Like that's how you gauge trustworthiness?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so if the Bible contains things that aren't true, would that lean credence toward it not being trustworthy?
Okay, the Bible has been changed 1,000 times.
Wait, no. Because listen, I've read the Bible. I have read the original Hebrew. Okay, I've cross-referenced it with the English. Okay, so I know what the Bible says. I'm not talking about specific translations. I'm talking about what's written down, right? So if the Bible is conveying a message that isn't true or saying things that aren't true, would that lean credence toward it not being entirely trustworthy?
I guess.
Okay, so when the Bible says things like the earth is flat, or that there's a dome and a firmament, or that the earth stood still, or that the earth was created before the sun, or any of these things like the global flood happened, like, would we take these things to be untrustworthy because these things are not possible and did not happen?
Whoa.
I wouldn't. Okay, you see, the Bible. Okay, I believe in God, but the Bible has been changed for
Okay,
you
but
don't like, bro.
right now,
Like,
right, we're not talking about
I
specifically
understand the
God.
argument. I understand the
We're
argument.
talking about
You're trying to-
trustworthiness, right? So we're talking about your metric on how we gauge trust. And you told me that you gauge trust in if it relays things that are true and things that come true. So when we apply that to the Bible, we see that it makes prophecies that don't come true, and it has errors with things that are true. So what I'm asking is, why would you not think that this is an untrustworthy book, and then you would, or why would you like throw that rationale out the window and like special plead?
Because from my personal experience, I got saved by Christ, and I know the Bible has been changed by man. Like,
yeah, what's been
not
changed in it?
like, bro, a lot of shit. Like a lot
Like
of
what?
shit, bro.
Like name one thing that's been changed.
Mostly a lot of, bro. Like you can't, like, bro. There's
Come on,
so
buddy.
much shit.
Hey, but you
There's
made the
so
claim. I'm just asking for some evidence. Like I'm asking for one thing that's it
the
was changed.
evidence. I don't know, man, but that's
Okay, well,
that's
see,
all I know, bro.
so you do see why it's an issue, right? Is because you made a claim and you can't provide like a warrant for that claim,
Yo,
so it's just baseless.
that
And
of G, that of G. Please come and help me out, cause these guys, like, like
well,
real
I mean,
talk, bro.
I'm just talking. It's just me and you right now. It's not like we're not ganging up on you. I'm just asking
It's
you a
two
question.
against one right now, man.
Nobody else is talking right now. It's just been me and you.
Okay, but like, I get your point, but like, I'm just saying,
Well,
bro.
it's not a point.
If
It's
you
a
turn to
reductio
Christ,
to
if you
your
turn-
like
if you
credibility.
devote your life to
Hold it, wait,
Christ-
hold it, wait, hold it,
Just
hold
wait,
it,
John.
if
I
you-
did say it was
if you
going to be
devote-
1v1. Just
If
Wait,
you devote
hold
your
on,
life to
wait.
Christ, He will save you, bro.
okay. So I
That's
just want to
all.
make it absolutely clear
I'm
before
trying
I
to
pass
save
it
you,
towards.
bro,
I just
before
want to
it's
make it
too late.
absolutely clear before I pass it towards John.
No, I'm
is
not gonna make an argument. I
Just-
just want to say, why don't we let his friend up and like put him down since he wants his friend to help him out?
yeah. So
Like,
we
we
can put
could
you
just, like,
down and we
skip
can bring
him up.
G up instead if you want.
Bring G up, man.
Okay, so we just make it absolutely clear you're going to be conceding the argument, and we're going to be moving to J because you were unable to provide a warrant for your claims. Is that correct?
I'm just too lazy to find any answers because, like,
You don't know.
bro, like I said, bro, just turn to Christ and He will save you, bro. He does. Like,
okay, well, turn to
amazing
atheism.
things, bro.
Atheismo, the
he
great
does amazing
anti-God,
things,
will
bro.
save you. I'll pray to atheismo tonight and his non-existence, and he'll save you. So, yeah, okay, well, so you don't got anything else?
No.
All right, well, thanks for coming up.
All right, G.
John, do you want to take G?
Yeah, SMK. Wait, SMK. Do you want to take him because you haven't gotten a chance to debate yet?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna bring him up. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing with your friends. Goldflang W for sharing it to literally every person you know. And let's bring the next guest up.
Wait, just to be clear, if he starts talking about scripture stuff, I'll just pass it to someone because I'm not really educated.
Yeah, I can deal with that. Yeah, G, how old are you?
18, gang.
All right. What year were you born?
2006.
All right, cool. SMK, all yours.
Alright, so G, just to be clear, I just want any justification. That's either A, just going to be raising the probability, or just showing theism to be true. Okay.
Well, from what I've read and I'm
Alright, listen,
educated.
you're unmuted, by the way.
Huh?
You're unmuted, by the way. You're like over the. Anyways, G, what were you saying?
Okay, so according to scripture, there's the first chapter of Romans is basically talking about how everyone knows God exists and everything, and that his way of showing himself was by making himself man. And well, in the Old Testament, it's just basically God talking to the people directly until he comes down, and then the New Testament happens about Jesus' life, and then he's down with us. And well, historical proof, the only thing I can give you, since there's no medical records or any scientific stuff like that, is just the same as, like, I don't know, proving George Washington existed by his handwritten documents and everything, or by eyewitness testimony. And it's the same with Jesus, who's a person who existed. There's no doubting that. People all over the world were writing documents. Even Buddhists, let's say for example, were writing that this guy was some sort of guy who achieved nirvana or something like that. But he achieved something greater upon everyone else. And the problem isn't that it existed or not. There's a bunch of like writings that he did. For example, Emperor Nero was chasing down Christians back in the early year 65 to like year 70. And why? Because this to prove that this guy was actually God, he resurrected 3 days later, and then he presented himself to around 500 people, I believe. Aside from his disciples, he presented himself to more people out there so that they can spread the
Were you
gospel.
saying Jesus presented himself, or like, who presented himself?
Yeah, Jesus. So like he resurrected after his death, and then he came like 3 days later he resurrected, came back to life, and then he told everyone like.
Here, we can just start with that. I'm not too sure what data is going to support that. I don't think there's any data supporting that. There's 500 accounts of eyewitness testimonies. It could just be the case that there's going to be one account that just says that there was that many testimonies, which I'm not too sure how we're going to affirm is true.
Well, the disciples were dying for this. Like, for example, Peter was crucified upside down in Rome, and around by the same Emperor Nero, in like the year 64, around there. And this is according to like the early church tradition, like recorded in Oregon and there's this other place, but these are early church writings from people like from the first years of after Christ's resurrection. James as well, executed around the 44th year after Christ. And the only writings that there are is the early church writings, who like would explain how these Christians were dying, and they were dying for the truth, which they saw, which was Christ resurrected.
Wait, just so like first we can start with this. I feel like this isn't responding to anything I just said. I need to be like affirmed that it's true that there's actually like 500 or maybe just like a couple hundred accounts of eyewitness testimonies, not just one account just saying that there is that many testimonies, one and then two. People die for their beliefs like all the time. I'm not too sure why that would raise credence in the given belief being true, especially in like this scenario.
I mean, would you die for a specific belief? Usually people switch up in the last moment because life is more valuable, don't you think?
Now, it could be true that they can just they think the belief is true, so they do have a good reason to die over it. But thinking the belief is true doesn't prove that the belief is true. So it could just be the case. What was their name? The 4 people that died over it, they could just like had a really good credence under their criteria, which is probably a really shitty one since people back then are really dumb. Under their criteria, it's good reasons to believe it. But obviously, issues wouldn't be good reasons to actually believe in a given proposition. So
Yeah, it's because for this, then we will have to go back to the Bible. Saying that the Bible is true because everything like the 500 eyewitnesses are mentioned in Scripture.
Wait, yeah,
And
that's my point. I
mhm.
don't know why this scripture is going to be held as a reliable piece of information.
I mean, is there anything in Scripture that contradicts your life or that won't change anything for the better in your life?
That doesn't prove it's a good, trustworthy piece of literature for knowledge.
What would make it trustworthy?
If it didn't have any contradictions.
Yeah, and all the things stated were true.
Give me one contradiction. As a Christian, I believe the Bible is inerrant. No error. It is unchanging. Like the other guy said, no, the Bible hasn't been changed. Translations have been changed.
Yeah. Yeah, Sensei, if you want, I can go through this with him.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Who incited David to take the census?
Who incited David?
Yeah, who told David to take the census? Because 1 Chronicles 21:1 says Satan stood up against Israel and incited David to count the people of Israel. But in 2 Samuel 24:1 it says, again the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he incited David against them, saying, go, count the people of Israel of Judah. So in 2 Samuel it says God told David to do the census, and then in 1 Chronicles it said Satan did it. So which one is it?
I haven't looked into that. Look,
well, because
I'm saying, but
wait, because you just made a claim, right? You said that the Bible's inerrant. You said that there isn't contradictions.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, there's got to be an explanation as a Christian for me. Obviously,
so what's the explanation?
I believe, let me look into it. I mean, can you name the verses?
Yeah, 1 Chronicles 21 verse 1, and then 2 Samuel 24 verse 1. Here, I'll try to pull it up on the screen too.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see here.
Second Samuel 24:1, you say?
Yep, 2 Samuel 24:1.
Okay. Again, the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he incited David against them, saying, go number Israel and Judah. Okay, this is the Lord, right? And then First Chronicles 21:1, then Satan stood against Israel and incited David
to count the people of Israel.
To number Israel. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a contradiction here, right? So who incited David?
Okay. Well, the Bible presents God as sovereign all the events, right? That God's in control of everything. And I mean, I could give you an example, like for example, Job 1-2. Satan afflicts Job, but only under God's permission. Basically, that even God gives commandments to Satan. Like in Genesis 50:20, Joseph tells his brothers, like, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. Like Satan is there causing people to, like, I don't know, suffer or anything. But if, from what I believe, anything that happens is for God's glory, like everything that happens.
Okay, so I just want to be clear, right? So you're saying that we can brush this contradiction away because God commands Satan to do things in other parts of the Bible. Therefore, this could have been God commanding Satan to do this.
So Satan, in this passage, right? Satan directly tempted David, by leading him to take the census, right? And then God sovereignly allowed this to happen as part of his judgment, since Israel had already angered him in 2 Samuel 24.
Yeah, what did they do in 2 Samuel to anger him?
I need to look back at it because this one from what I've just know, but of course I'm not gonna remember everything out of my mind. I'm still learning. I'm barely, a young theist.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've also read the Bible. Do you know what's been there?
Yeah. There is no reason. There is no reason given for why God is angry. But what is the case in this instance? Let me just see if I can pull up the verse. The issue that we're having here, right, is that this is a contradiction in the Bible. It's saying God does it here, and then Satan does it here. And so the issue is that you made a claim saying that there are no contradictions, but we see one right here. But that's not really my main issue with the verse. I'm trying to pull up the verse I'm looking for. Yes.
But I mean, what did the first verse say?
Yeah, here we go. So, the issue we're having with these verses is not really who gave it to them. I mean, that is an issue for you, like the contradiction. But the issue is that who caused this to happen. And with you, it's kind of you just auto lose in your explanation, right? Because here, let me pull this back up here. So you see the screen now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the issue is that David takes the census, and God is not happy that David took the census. He's actually mad because in Chronicles it says Satan incited him to do it. And if we go down here to verse 14, because these are the punishments that God gives David 3 options of punishment for taking the census, right? And so the punishment that is taken is that God sends a pestilence onto Israel, and 70,000 people die. So the issue we have here is that so God commanded David to take the census, and then he punishes David for taking the census, and the punishment leads to 70,000 Israel's dying.
Well, what I'm seeing is that, I mean, both statements are true, man, that Satan directly tempted David and God allowed it.
Okay, so God's just evil then, because if God... No, wait, because listen, right? Because what you've just said is that God allowed Satan to tempt David, or so God is directly involved here, right? God is directly allowing Satan to tempt him for this.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, and so God is allowing it to happen, and then also punishing him for doing it, right? The thing that he allowed. And the crazy thing is that in verse 17 right here, he even says, David said to God, was it not I who gave the commandment to count the people? Is it I who have sinned and done very wickedly? But these sheep, what have they done? Let your hand, I pray, O Lord my God, be against me and against my father's house, and do not let your people be plagued. So even David recognizes that it's not fair that these people are being punished for his sin. And again, it's not even the sin I have an issue about. It's the fact that God commanded him to do this and then is punishing him for something that he commanded. So God, like in every metric, God is not good here. And going back to the original point.
For discipline for Israel, it was perhaps like discipline for Israel.
No, it wasn't. It tells you right here that the reason they're being punished is because of the census. Read 2 Chronicles 21 or 1 Chronicles 21. It tells you right there. It tells you the reason they're being punished, what they're being punished with, and how many people died because of the punishment.
Okay.
That's all you got to say is okay?
Hold up. I'm looking at the Bible right now.
It's crazy to me how many Christians come up here, SMK, and they just like don't actually read their Bible, and they make these claims about it. That it's unchangeable or there's no contradictions, and then like I pull up one verse and it like they fumble and stumble and they can't give a response. It's pretty crazy.
Look, man, it's actually not crazy. Look, as humans, we are fallible. Obviously, like I'm gonna have mistakes. Anybody's gonna have mistakes. We don't know the scripture from front and back. Obviously, if I'm gonna ask you like something around scripture, I don't know, for example, explain me Revelations chapter 7, there's several interpretations, and you're not going to give me probably the correct one, or maybe you haven't even read it.
So what I want to know right now, real quick, wait, because you just made a new claim. So I want to know, what metric do you discern is the true interpretation? What mechanism are you using to determine that this is the true interpretation? Go ahead.
The only thing I could give you, is the Bible says that that God gave us the Holy Spirit to talk to us, to tell us what is correct and what is the correct way of interpreting. But the thing is, people still follow their own.
Okay, and where can I find this correct way of interpretation?
It has to be given by the Holy Spirit, and through that you have to have faith first and believe and confess that Christ is Lord.
Okay, so
it's the only way you will receive it.
So just so I'm clear, right? So to interpret the Bible properly, you need the Holy Spirit. And how do I go about getting the Holy Spirit?
By confessing that Christ is Lord and having faith, believing.
Okay, and
that
how can I see that Christ is real? Like, how can I prove that? Like, how can I put my faith in him? Like, how can I know that he's real? Like, what evidence can I look at?
That's the thing. For me, I wouldn't know what to give you, because for me it was a different experience. For me, it was like a personal experience. I think most Christians out there is like as a personal experience.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay, so what you're saying, right, is that to read the Bible properly, you need Holy Spirit, and to get Holy Spirit, you need. I'm assuming you're like insinuating personal experience of some kind. So what I'm curious about is that if God gives the Bible to us, right, he gives his word and the men write it down, and we need to find a proper way to determine that it's true, but we can only do that if he gives us Holy Spirit. Why doesn't God give everybody Holy Spirit so we know exactly what he says? Wouldn't that cause less confusion among denominations and like what he's written?
Okay. I like that question.
Do you want to answer it?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. So what I believe, right, is, so there's different denominations like you mentioned, right? And I fall under the Reformed Baptist.
Oh my God.
Yes. And
wait, just real quick. How old is the earth?
Yeah. Oh, I'm a creationist, so obviously I'm gonna believe that it's like around 8,000 years old.
Okay, that's crazy. So just so you know, you don't have to be a creationist and believe in the young earth, but that's absolutely insane. But yeah, continue your argument, and then I'll dismantle that.
Even then, in Genesis, it says that the world was already there. So probably God created it years before, right? In another time. And
well, then I'm just going to ask you what the evidence that the Bible is true.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just a bunch of circular stuff. And
yeah, do you see why it's an issue, right?
What's the issue here? Like you're
saying God is true because the Bible is true, and the Bible is true because God is real. Like, we just have a circular argument and we don't go anywhere, right? You have no justification because you're leaning on your conclusions to justify it.
It's because, like I'm telling you, for me, God presents himself in my life by my experience.
Okay, but so the reason I have an issue with personal experience, right, is because personal experience is in literally every single theistic worldview that is around. Every religion, every believer in God has some sort of personal experience. So when you claim that your personal experience is true, then you also have to affirm every other personal experience in every other religion. You have to affirm the Buddhists, you have to affirm the Hindus, you have to affirm the Muslims, you have to affirm everybody. So when are you converting to Islam? Guessed?
I think his brain malfunctioned.
I can understand that you're probably concussed. Like, I know you probably don't understand what I'm saying and why I'm invalidating the personal experience. And I usually don't like to invalidate personal experience because I think it's mean. But you keep bringing it up, and so I'm asking now, like, now that we've concluded that if your personal experience is real and every other religion's personal experience is real, by default, that means that Islam would also be true. So when are you converting to the one true religion, Islam?
No, I don't believe Islam is a one true religion because Islam denies the deity of Jesus.
Oh, but you already said that your personal experience proves to you that God is real, right? So under that metric, any other person in any other religion would also be valid in believing that their religion is also the truth because of their personal experience. So how do you reconcile that? Like, how do you then your religion is just the same as everything else?
Are you sitting there drooling, or is there going to be some substantive response? A little confused.
Yeah. I know you're trying to scramble with your argument. I know you only have a few brain cells working right now and only a few synapses firing. And I know it's probably going to take a little bit of time to get from your left side of the brain to the right side. But ideally, I do have things to do today. So if we could wrap this up, that would be much appreciated. And I would love to have a response. Guest? Are you there? Guest?
Oh, was I muted? Oh, my bad, gang. So, look, there's through this whole conversation, I've been respectful to you. Like, I haven't insulted you.
Here, listen,
And
no one cares about this like meta crybaby fest. Just give like the response.
Yeah, like
that
I
you
don't want to
give.
hear the meta commentary. I just want to hear the response to what I said.
what was the question?
See, so like I'm trying to have a good faith dialectic with you, and the issue that we're having is that you just don't have an ability to track. And so I'm going to ask the question one more time, and I want you to really listen. Can you do that for me?
Okay.
Okay. So all I'm asking, right, is that if you're saying that your personal experience validates your belief in God being real, then that by default would also validate every other religion that exists, and every person that has personal experiences in said religions, they would also be true in their beliefs. So what I'm asking is, how do you reconcile that with your belief? Like, what? So are you just accepting like global theism or open? Is it open theism, SMK? Is that what it is? Yeah, I can't hear you when you're outside of the app, by the way, G.
Wait, can you give me a mod so I can like mute this guy spamming in chat?
I gave you
gonna
mod.
do it? I don't think you did.
There, I did it again. You should have mod now. But I'll mute him if
I mean,
he's...
yes, people do have like backgrounds and probably personal experiences, but that does not mean that our interpretations are correct or that our experiences are probably correct as well.
Okay, so you would agree that you need more evidence than just your personal experience to justify the belief, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so can you provide the extra evidence or argument for why God does exist that does not involve personal experience?
Maybe morality.
Morality. So why does how do we get from morality to God?
Do you believe in
Wait, can I take
objective
this?
morality?
Yeah, SMK if you want to, but no, I do not believe in objective morality.
So you believe it's subjective?
Yes.
Well, that's kind of sad.
Wait,
What's
here,
the
even if we
reductio?
do- Wait, we can just agree with objective reality. I don't think that leads to the conclusion God exists. So.
No, objective more. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, you still have to like. How do we get from morality to God? Like, can you give the argument for how morality, therefore God?
Well, it's because God, everything in Scripture tells this is right, this is wrong, and people have based laws on it. For example, murder or slavery or stuff like that, or anger, and these are like moral truths.
All right. Well, okay.
in Scripture.
So are you saying that like we can look at the laws of God to base our morality on? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go through some laws of God with me?
Sure, but let me answer your question first. So if objective morals values exist, then God must exist. That is my claim.
Okay.
Wait, what's
Okay.
the
So
argument?
yeah, you're just saying. Okay. So what's the argument that if objective morals exist, God must exist also?
Let me think.
Wait, just
If
because
object- if
you know what
objective morals
just tell me what
exist-
objective means. I'm not too sure if you know what it means.
Objective means how do I define that? That is a good question.
It's just mind independent or stance independence. That's all it means, right? So, you agree that's how you're using the
Yeah,
term?
that it exists on itself, and
What?
that.
Well,
Yeah,
I
just be-
I mean, do you let's give an example. For example, like torturing, I don't know, someone. Do you think that's wrong?
yes.
yeah, I can agree it's wrong.
What if another person thinks it's right?
Well, then they're just going to be irrational because they're going to be denying the other person empathy.
Yeah, but under let's say there's circumstances like the other person is torturing this other person because he probably did something wrong, so he thinks he's doing justice on his part.
Yeah, but that doesn't really matter, right?
This
I mean,
doesn't
to him it
invoke
does.
any reasons to believe more realism is true.
To the other guy it does. So
No, it doesn't. What?
Okay, so just because someone thinks that they're justified in their belief doesn't mean it's a true belief, right? So if this guy thinks he's justified in torturing this person for whatever he did, like he might think he's justified, but he's going to be being irrational in this, right? Because he's going to be denying this person he's torturing the empathy that he obviously deserves. And obviously in every metric, the person torturing is not going to want to be the person tortured. And so we can just use this to prove that obviously this is going to be morally wrong because it's going to be denying empathy to this person.
By human experiences, you say, right?
Human experience. What do you mean by human experiences? I didn't say that.
Basically, that both people don't want to experience the same thing, so therefore it's like an objective thing.
No, I'm saying it's when things are lacking of empathy. Like when you make a moral claim, right? You have to presuppose empathy because you have to rationalize with the other person's position so you can have an understanding of where they're coming from. So when you have every moral claim, you have to presuppose empathy in every moral conversation, right? So if this guy's denying empathy, then he's just going to he's going to have an irrational belief. And I am more like, I mean, I'm cool with going down this argument, but I do want to kind of hone in on what you said earlier, is that we can look at God's laws as the moral standard, like the objective moral standard. Did you you made that claim, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to go through one of God's laws with you, and I want you to tell me if it's a good law, like objectively good or objectively bad. All right? Okay, so do you want to pull up Deuteronomy 22 for me? I'll put it on the screen for you too. Yeah, we're going to start in Deuteronomy 22 verse 13. That's the verse we're going to start in. Okay, so in verse 13, we'll start there. It says, suppose a man marries a woman, but after going into her, dislikes her and makes up charges against her. It makes up charges against her, slandering her by saying, I married this woman, but when I lay with her, I did not find evidence of her virginity. The father of the young woman and her mother shall then submit the evidence to the young woman's virginity to the elders of the city at the gate. The father of the young woman shall lie and say to the The father of the young woman shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter in marriage to this man, but he dislikes her, and has made up charges against her, saying, I did not find evidence of your daughter's virginity, but here is the evidence of my daughter's virginity. Then they shall spread out the cloth before the elders of the town. The elders of the town shall take the man and punish him. They shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, which they shall give to the young woman's father, because he has slandered a virgin of Israel. She shall remain his wife. He shall not be permitted to divorce her as long as he lives. So, do you kind of understand what's going on here in this conversation? Or in this law, this commandment? If you're, just so you know, if you're away from the app, I can't hear you.
No, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so what's going on right here, right? This is this passage is a legal code given to ancient Israel. It's specifically addressing marriage and sexual conduct. This is about newlyweds, right? So this is on the night of the wedding night, they consummate, and the evidence of virginity is going to be blood on a cloth, right? So with that being the metric of proof of virginity, after they consummate for the first time, the father of the bride takes that cloth and keeps it for safekeeping. And so in this scenario, the husband of the bride is claiming that she's not a virgin. So they bring the cloth to the front of Israel, and they to the elders and everything, and they are presenting the proof that she's a virgin, which is blood on the cloth. Now, do you want to read verse 20 to 21 for me?
If however this change is true, that the evidence of the young woman's, I think it went away.
Oh, sorry. There, you see it again?
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Of the young woman's virginity was not found, then they shall bring the young woman out to the entrance of her father's house, and the men of her town shall stone her to death, because she committed a disgraceful act in Israel by prostituting herself in her father's house. So you shall purge the evil from your midst.
Yeah, so what's happened, right, is that if it's turned out that the woman is lying, or if it turns out that there is no blood on the cloth and that there is no evidence of her virginity, then the woman can be stoned until unalivement, right? That's kind of what it's saying here. The issue we're having, right, is that only 45% of women bleed their first time having, intercourse. So that would mean that about half of these people who are being stoned to death in this scenario are innocent women. So would you say that this is an objectively good law from God?
But I mean, we have to look at like different passages, because I'm sure this is not it.
This is okay. So Deuteronomy 22 is specifically about laws about sexual relations, especially this part. This part is specifically about the laws about sexual relation, because Numbers, Deuteronomy, and Leviticus, and I think a little bit of Exodus are the Mosaic law, like the laws that are given from God. I believe that there are 613 in total.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is the law given from God to Moses, right? So why is it objectively good to stone women that don't bleed on their first night?
Well, in this scenario, right? Let's say they don't bleed on their first night because they're not a virgin, and if under this culture, right? If in ancient Israel, like virginity before marriage was of great importance, because it ensured like purity for the family line and like provides security for the women. But if a woman was found like to have sex before marriage, then it seemed like it like dishonored the family.
Okay, but you see the issue is, right, is that each women, like I said, only 45% of women actually bleed their first time. So it's not a reliable metric to base virginity on, right? So the issue is that God is giving this law and he's telling you how to find evidence for virginity. But the case is it's not a reliable source of virginity, and it's going to lead to about half of these women being stoned to death that are innocent. Like, these are innocent women because the hymen, which is what causes the bleeding, can break prematurely. So we have an issue where either when God gives this law, right, first of all, it's obviously not an objectively good law because it's going to cause innocent death. Secondly, we have two issues. Either God is not all-knowing when he's giving this law, where he doesn't know that how women's biology works, or God knows that this is how... sorry, TikTok's making me verify. Sorry, okay. Either he knows that women are... This isn't going to be a reliable metric to base virginity off of, and it's going to lead to countless deaths, which means he couldn't be all-knowing or all good. Or he doesn't know that this is how women's biology works, in the case that he wouldn't be all-knowing. Right? So I'm going to ask again, right? Is this an objectively good law from God?
But I mean, this law, it was meant to like protect honor and dignity for women, and like you said, right, that only half of women didn't bleed. So, but I would say like this law wasn't to like guaranteed or like intend that every woman who had sex before marriage would be stoned. It was just a way to like preserve integrity.
No, so what this law is for, right? It's for the scenario is if a man marries a woman and after having sex with her doesn't like her and slanders her by saying like this woman isn't a virgin, right? That's what the law is about. So it's for this specific scenario. So what I'm saying is that women that are in this scenario, about 45% of them, only 45% of them are going to actually have blood on the cloth. The other half aren't. And that doesn't mean that they went out and were being promiscuous. That just means that their hymen broke prematurely. So we have an issue, right? We have an issue that God is supposed to be all good and all knowing, but he sets up this unreliable law that leads to unnecessary suffering, right? So this couldn't be an objectively good law from God. Would you agree?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that there's obviously something missing, because from what I believe, I probably don't know,
Like what?
That's the thing, because from what I believe is that, well, everything that God gives is like morally objective, and everything that God gives is true and everything. But for me, like I'm a young theist. I'm barely starting. I don't know everything. Obviously, I still haven't studied everything, but I'm glad you are.
Mhm.
But the only thing I could give you is that I could look into it. I wouldn't know the answer right now, but I can look into it. Go and look at the history, some like uh, scripture as well,
Well,
and
the issue
just
is,
come
right,
back
it's
and
not
give you the
it's not
answer.
just this one verse, right? It's not just this specific
Yeah,
law,
yeah.
right?
I'm sure you have
Like,
several. I'm sure you have several.
because there's laws about slavery, there's laws about abortion. There's actually a law where he allows abortion. But obviously the most problematic one is going to be the slavery for me, right? Like God openly endorses slavery, and he even commands, saying that yes, you can go and do this.
Well, I mean, for slavery, we have to also look at Philemon, the letter of Philemon, where Philemon has a running slave, and then Paul is writing this letter for Philemon that, like, take this slave not as your slave anymore, but as your brother in Christ, and treat him
Okay,
as well
but you see,
as
that's
family.
not. See, the issue is that that's New Testament. Like, I don't care about that, right? Because that's like 800 years after when the Mosaic Law was given. What I'm specifically worried about is that God, who's giving the Mosaic Law, is commanding, and he's saying, "As for your male and female slaves, whom you may have, it is from the nations around you that you may acquire male and female slaves." So he's saying, "Don't go enslave the Israelites to be your slaves, but you know what? All those people around you, go for it." Right, and so that's an issue, right? Like he's openly allowing slavery to take place.
Okay.
And so do you see why that's an issue when people say that God is all good when he allows things like this to take place? Like this isn't
Yeah,
something
yeah.
this isn't just something that like, oh, it's gonna happen, so I might as well say this, right? God is all powerful. God can command he commands, say, oh, you can't wear mixed fabrics, you can't eat shellfish. And he could have easily just said, thou shalt not own slaves, right? But he doesn't say that. He says, yes, you can actually own slaves, but these are the slaves you're allowed to own.
Okay. Well, like I said, man, I wouldn't know anything, but I can, like, well, obviously I took a huge loss right here, but what I can do is, like, you could give me your claims, and I could come back, I don't know, some other time, or like text you, and come back with like some arguments to your claims, because right now I'm not very studied, but I could take your claims and come back later, like when I research all this.
Yep, that's fine. I would definitely recommend you I would highly recommend you read the Mosaic Law, like read Exodus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Leviticus, read through those, really understand the laws that God is giving. And like, you just really need to evaluate, right? You need to read it in the sense that, okay, God is claimed to be all good, right? And then you need to read the laws and you need to discern, are these laws that an all good God would in fact give? And
Okay.
and once you do that, like if you're doing it from an unbiased lens, then like the answer is going to be pretty clear to you.
Okay. But that's the thing. As a Christian, well, obviously as a Christian, I think from a biased perspective that, well, there has to be a reason why, or like there has to be a different point to why God put it this way, or why this and that. The thing is, I don't know yet, so that's why I want to know the claims, and
Okay, well,
come back another time.
I will make one claim for you, and it's going to
Okay,
be
what
that
claim?
God is not all good. And the verse I'm going to use to provide this claim, so I'm going to put it up on the screen. I want you to read it. All right. It's going to be 2 Kings 2, 23 to 24. Do you want to read that out loud?
2 Kings 2, 23 to 24.
Yeah. I just put it on the screen for you.
Okay, let me just write that as a note. There you go. Okay. He went up from there to Bethel, and while he was going out, the way, some small boys came out of the city and jeered at him, saying, "Go away, bald head, go away, bald head." When he turned around and saw them, he cursed them in the name of the Lord. Then 2 bears came out of the woods and mewed 42 of the boys.
Yeah. So, right, the prophet Elijah is heading up to Bethel, and a few little boys come out and jeer at him, and they say, like, they call him bald. Like, that's what kids do. Kids make fun of people. And then in response, Elijah curses them in the name of God, and then God sends 2 bears out from the woods and mauls 42 of them.
Okay.
Right? So this is like, the question is like, why would an all-good God maul 42 children? Like, just let them get torn apart by these bears because they called the prophet bald. Like, kids do that. That's what kids do. Kids make fun of people's insecurities, like, because they don't know any better. They're children.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I see your point.
Yeah.
Well,
so, but
I'll look into this.
yeah, it was thank you for, it was nice chatting with you, and hope to see you again.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, God bless, guys.
Yep. Bye.
Thank you for having me.
Yep, it was nice having you. All right, guys, I'm getting tired. I've been screaming for like 3 hours. Thank you all for joining. Blue Hat, thanks for coming in. I saw you in the chat. W comments. Cody, nice to have you. Hopefully, maybe you'll come up one day and we can have a little chat. And yeah, thank you everybody else that's come here, and hopefully we'll see you again on the next live.